Salvete omnes, salvete amici, nomen mihi est Decimus Aurelius Ingeniarius, Praetor Australianus. Hello, good evening, good night from wherever you are watching us in the world. Welcome to the Roman Twitch channel, brought to you by Nova Roma. I am Decimus Aurelius. It's great to have you with us again for episode 2 of the Republic of Rome board game broadcast for 2022. Nearly forgot the year there. Perhaps I'm in shock from our session last week, off to an amazing and grueling start, perhaps. For some, we saw a war declared, I guess, on the First Punic War there, and a large force sent off under a General Scipio to prosecute that from, was it Corona faction, I think? So we're starting off in the combat phase this evening, and we're looking forward to executing that war. We saw a successful assassination attempt last night from the Green faction under Quintus Octavius in true style, and right as a dictator was appointed, so a fairly critical assassination, and certainly the feedback that I've gotten from the peanut gallery and the crowds, that a lot of people thought that was a well-placed assassination, and certainly considering that perhaps the dictatorship wasn't needed. So it certainly had a lot of support from the spectators at the very least, if you were to take a poll. So that was all very exciting. And then we had a very lengthy Senate session there. The presiding magistrate, Rome Consul, was very happy to see a lot of discussion take place, and I think we discussed it to the nth degree about how, what and why we should prosecute the particular war, which has become, I guess, a classic mainstay of this particular group and the regulars here that play in this game. They really like to hold deep and meaningful discussions. So let's get into it. Let's go back and start the combat phase. I'm going to take a brief moment to transition to the virtual tabletop. You'll see a screen come up. Hang in there, don't go away. We'll be back in just a minute. Stand by. There we go. Now we are back, making sure that audio levels are working. I think you guys can hear me back at home. And now let's get all of our senators who are down the bottom of the screen there. Give us a salvete to our watchers.
Salvete.
Salvete.
Good. I'm seeing lots of green and orange bars happening on my audio panel over here. So I think we're good. Hello and salve to Jortanos, the man, the myth, the legend, the senator, who's joining us again, one of our VIPs on stream. Great to see you jumping in. And also Poached Trout, one of our experts who has been keen to watch this session and watched nearly all of our last session last week as well. So hello to some of our regulars on stream. All right, we are here live looking at the playing tabletop. And I think, folks, we can get straight into that combat phase. So I'm going to change and pan in, for those at home, into the active wars area. And we can see Publius Cornelius Scipio Africanus there with his large fleet. We're going to be attacking the First Punic War, which already has the naval victory marker, so we don't need to worry about a naval battle first and foremost using this WBC start. And we do that to give you guys a bit of a chance, because we're really interested in the long game here. We're not, although we appreciate a challenge, we're not looking to thrash you guys around. There'll be plenty of that to come. We notice Hamilcar there. Now we have the unprosecuted symbols there on the Syrian and Second Aurelian War, because we are not prosecuting those in this round, so we'll have the unprosecuted penalties associated with those. So not only will they cost us 20 talents apiece, it'll also cost us unrest when we go to recalculate that later on. But that's a future problem for us to worry about. All right, so what we're going to do from here is we're going to call upon our general, Publius Cornelius Scipio Africanus, which is run by the Corona, the Orange faction under Tiberius there, and we're going to have him prep himself ready to roll 3d6. Now, how are you going to be rolling today's very important roll there, General? What are you going to use, physical dice or the clicker dice today?
I was just going to use these clicker dice up in the active wars box.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. So I think it'll be 3 quick clicks. Hopefully you'll get the 3 dice out simultaneously. If not, we'll add manually as necessary if a hiccup happens. But what we're going to do is we're going to bring up our combat calculator here. on screen. So that should be visible for everybody, and I can drag that a little bit here. There we go. So all my players and the viewers at home can see that. We've punched in all the details there, and we can actually see our probability outcomes that the players actually discussed last week during the Senate phase. So we're looking at about a 76% chance of overall victory, but there's no avoiding the disaster and standoff numbers by Hamilcar. They're always going to be present, irrespective of special abilities of our general, and there's roughly about 10% apiece to hit either one of those. So we're going to roll a 3d6 from the general in just a moment, and then we're going to add 9, and then we're going to go to our combat results table, which is up here somewhere on the board. Let's have a look. There it is, zooming in for all our people watching at home. That is what we're going to be concerning ourselves with. We're all hoping for a victory, of course, because we like it when our Roman Senate is victorious. So, General, when you're ready, please go ahead and roll 3d6 and cross fingers, and let's see how we go in our first battle for this year. All right.
Before doing so, I'd like to see if our Pontifex Maximus would like to honour convention
Great.
and offer a prayer for the brave legions and their supporting fleets.
Sure. I offer this prayer in the name of Mars. I offer this prayer for our soldiers. I offer the prayer for the people who are waiting at home. I offer this prayer for the senators who are looking forward to a positive and victorious battle against the Carthaginians in this first, hopefully last Punic War.
Very good.
All right.
Unleash the dogs of war, I suppose.
Okay, here we go. 11 plus 9 gives us what, folks?
20.
Yeah, look, I think that's an outstanding victory. Now, it's not a danger number. No, it's not. So we check our leader disaster standoff numbers, which are 8 and 12. And it appears that we haven't hit those danger numbers, and we've well and truly exceeded the victory component on the table there. And that's also going to be no losses. So I think we've got our first victory, folks.
Woo!
Wonderful.
Woo! Skimmed the two numbers. Very well done.
Yes, very, very happy with that. So let's zoom in there and have a bit of a squeeze. So let's step this through nice and slow, folks. And I've got my other checklist here that we're just going to step through nice and slowly just to make sure we do everything that we need to do. So first and foremost, normally a victory would lower the unrest level by 1, but I take it that our current unrest level is 0. Is that correct, folks?
That is correct.
That's correct.
Good. So that is good. So it wasn't a sea battle. We've already got that. Now, normally we'd also have to draw mortality chits equal to the number of units lost, but we haven't lost any units here. So there are no mortality chits requiring to be drawn, which is really good. And there's no need to calculate Roman losses there, which is fantastic. Now, one legion from among the survivors becomes a veteran legion. So the way we're going to do this now, instead of doing some weird off-screen stuff, I'm just going to gently move our general out of the way for a moment and pop him over there. And I'm going to highlight all of our legions here, and I'm going to place them into this little special bucket over here on the right-hand side. Our legions will disappear into this bag, and it randomizes them for us. And the first one that we're going to draw out becomes a veteran. So I'm going to do that now, and there we go. It'll be the third legion will become a veteran legion, and thanks to Marcus Decimus, who's now flipped it over and become a veteran. So while we're here, let our general, so Tiberius Cornelius, if you'd like to grab the 3rd Legion veteran allegiance marker from the bucket over there, and Quintus Octavius has highlighted that for you. So on the right-hand side next to our legions, can you see that?
I've put it onto his character for him already.
I'm highlighting it myself over here with my arrows. Can you see that?
Yes.
Perfect. So you may have to drag the first few out because I think they come out in order for you. And then you need to grab your 3rd one and place that 3rd Legion Veteran Allegiance marker on your general back in Rome. Now, noting he's not actually going to be physically back in Rome just yet, one of those technicalities that we deal with. but nonetheless, you can still apply the Veteran Legion marker there. So if I can ask Quintus Octavius, if you'd like to pull the remaining legions back out onto the board for us into the Active Wars box from our sorter, please, that would be good. Right, you can actually right-click on that Veteran Allegiance box and click search as well to pull up the one you want to, but it appears you've already got it, which is good. So well done there. I'm just trying to realign there we go, just realign your marker for you so it's nice and straight. Excellent. Cool. So now we've done the veteran marker. So from there, thankfully, we don't have to consider any popularity losses for the commander because, again, we didn't lose any legions there, which would normally happen. Now we have, thankfully, actually, I believe we've created some provinces, if I'm not mistaken, folks. So if we have a look at the card here, victory creates the provinces of Sicilia and Corsica et Sardinia as well. So we actually get 2 provinces out of this, which is well and truly amazing. So in this case here, perhaps if I can ask Appius Rufius, if you'd like to go to our province pile, please, and pull out those 2 provinces and place them in the forum for us. That would be fantastic. They're down the bottom under the Inactive Wars box there. That's it. You found them. So yes, you're looking for Sicilia and the other province of Corsica and Sardinia. Are the 2 province cards we need, and we'll place those into forum for future governor allocation, which is fantastic. Great to see some provinces come into play. Good. Just checking tech details there. Loving that. Now, what we also get to do here is we get to come up to our map, and we're going to get to reveal our new provinces on the world map as well. So I've specially prepared, well, really I've been colouring in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to specially select the eraser tool here, and I have to click in the right spot. So I better know my geography of the ancient world as we go to do this. So the first one we're going to do first is Sicilia, which Appius Rufius is highlighting for us. So I'm going to click fairly close over here, which should give us Sicilia. There we go. It's revealed that portion of the map for us. So there's the first province. And the next one we need to do, Numerius Aurelius is highlighted for us correctly, which is just over here. So I'm now going to click over here and reveal that portion of the map. Yay, look at that. How exciting. Map reveal. Fog of War is coming apart as we reveal more parts.
Accomplished.
Reveal more parts of the map. So our republic is growing, which is absolutely delightful. So great to reveal some parts of the map. I like this feature. It was very, very rudimentary to implement, but boy, it's executing quite nicely right now. I quite like that. Yes, huzzah, looking nice, says Poached Trout in chat. Good. Right, let's continue on with our victory process to make sure we've got everything that we need to do. Good. Quintus Octavius is doing some fine sorting for us. Pulling all the legions out. He's done that. Excellent. Now, to finish off, going through our list here, we need to increase the influence by half of our commander fractions rounded up of the unmodified land war strength number. So here we have the First Punic War, which is strength 10. If we halve that, which becomes 5, which is a nice half. So if I could ask Tiberius Cornelius, you may increase the influence by your statesman by 5. So if you want to start with that, and that's just the start of the goodies. So yep, you can use your little white numbers there and type or click up to add an additional 5 to his influence if you haven't already done so. And then the next thing you get to do, as perhaps if you've already guessed, if you remember, is you get to do the same with your popularity for that statesman as well. So commander increases his popularity by half, fractions rounded up of the unmodified land or fleet war strength number. So again, increasing his popularity to 5 because I think he starts at 0. So we'll now see... if I magnify here, his popularity is now 5. Perfect. Well done, sir. Love your effort. All right. Next, what we want to do, folks, is we're going to add our spoils of war to the state treasury. So somebody wants to announce that they're going to do this, so we don't all do it simultaneously. But we're going to get 35 talents added from As you can see in the card here down the bottom right is the Spores of War, 35 talents, and that's going to be added to our state treasury, which is going to increase its health a little bit because it was looking as a menial 12. It looks like Quintus Octavius is going to do that for us, but it looks like I saw a green hand there. So if you'd like to have 35 to our 12, please, and I think if you try and hover and type, I think you can do it rapidly that way, hovering over the top if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, look good. Excellent. Well done there. So now what we get to do is noting that war is defeated and there are no other Punic wars at the moment. Hamilcar is going to head over to the Curia. So he's been defeated for the time being. We're going to put the first Punic war over in the discard pile there. And Hamilcar will head over to the Curia for our consideration for hopefully his later death before the other Punic wars arrive. Which would be good to get rid of him before that occurs. So for now, we're going to leave our victorious commander out in the field for the time being. He's technically he's a pro-consul now, so he could take a pro-consul marker, but let's leave him as the field consul for now because he's technically not a pro-consul because he didn't lose a war, so he'll stay as field consul. So that's fine. That also helps us determine HRAO for later on when he does eventually return to Rome, or hopefully he returns to Rome. We'll ask him that pertinent question in a later phase. I think it's about everything, folks. Have I missed anything?
That would appear to be all.
I think that appears to be all. We've got our provinces in the forum. We've upped our treasury. Our commander's got all his goodies, and we've added, the treasury's talked about that. We've got our veteran legion. I think we've got everything. It really makes things easier when you don't have losses as well. So I'm pretty happy with that, folks. And with that will conclude our combat phase just about. But what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at our little cheat sheet over here and zoom in and just double check. So we've done that. We don't need to check for commander death or capture because we had no losses. We've done all that. We've hit no disasters or standoffs. We've got no provincial wars right now, folks. We know what our unprosecuted wars are, and thankfully we don't need to worry about any war exhaustion at this stage, and we don't need to modify anything at this point because we've got no war with a age of 6. So we're quite happy right now. So that will now conclude our combat phase. Hooray! Well done. Great start to the session. We're now going to enter the revolution phase, which is quite good. And so we'll go back to our cheat sheet and have a look now. We are no longer using the voluntary retirement rule because of the different aging rule that we are now using. So we can skip the part in green and we get to go to intrigue. So at this point in time, all players can freely trade cards from their hand at this point in time. And then we'll then go around the circle from the HRO asking if anybody wants to play anything. So I'll ask the question broadly. Does anybody want to do any trading at this point in time of cards? Because this is the only time you can do that.
I can't see my hand. And when I tried to pick it up, I accidentally flipped it publicly. I have no cards.
No. So you won't flip it publicly. If you press F, no one else can see it but you.
Well, how do I get them to come up so they're big down the bottom of my hand?
Press Alt when you're hovering over them to see them. So, but you'll probably need to flip them so you can see them yourself. So press F when you're hovering over them.
Flip, I can just go and press flip on them?
If you hover over your card and press F, it'll flip it over, but no one else can see it. Press F, there you go. And then if you hold Alt while hovering over it, it'll zoom it in for you nicely.
Okay, but you can't have them coming up down the bottom.
No, nobody can see it. It comes up black for everybody. So it's coming up black for me because I'm in spectator mode, and no one else can see it. It's only being shown for you when it's in your hand zone.
Mine are face up, Marco, but if you look across, you probably can't see them.
Yeah. So
Cool. Thank you.
See, it just looks like a black square for anybody else. So only you right now in the whole wide world can see what's in your hand. So you can be rest assured that no one else can see what's going on. So yes, please, everybody, take a moment, have a look at your hands, refamiliarize yourselves, noting that it can't be seen on stream right now. And if you're wanting to do a trade, you can either talk about that privately, or you can do that publicly. Certainly no issues with that, but you just do have to announce, I guess. You guys know how to trade, so I'll leave you to it.
Can I just make a quick point, if that's all right?
Yeah, please.
I accidentally wiped my phone the other day, so I lost all my numbers. So if you need to text me for a trade. Just tell me who you are, unfortunately. So I've been trying to figure out who everyone is. I've been getting text messages. So
Oh dear.
yeah, yes, very annoying. Unfortunately.
Oh, that's rather unfortunate.
Yes. So you texted me today, Decamus, and I was like, I'm pretty sure this is him.
Oh dear. Well, yes, that was me today. Well, that was this morning, right?
Yes, yeah.
Good.
That or
Okay.
some stranger telling me we're on for tonight.
Yeah, secret drug trade. Is that what it is?
Might have been. Not sure.
All right. So nobody's wanting to do any trades. I think everyone's happy. Is that correct? Thumbs up across the screens. Can I see a thumbs up from all senators if they're ready?
Me and Qantas Octavius.
Sure.
wants to
Okay.
trade.
Yep. I'm happy. Take your time, folks. I want you guys to be able to have the discussions. You know, we're not in a rush. You guys set the pace of this game. And look, when it's on YouTube, people can skip through these parts, right? So, not a problem at all.
All right. So Qantas Octavius, I'll agree to that, and you're happy to do a public deal.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, I'm happy to
In
do a public deal.
In a public deal between myself and Quintus Octavius, I shall trade him a card in exchange for 5 talents now, 2
How much,
talents, a card that we will both be happy with when it gets transferred
Good.
across. He is already aware.
That's fine.
And Quintus Octavius can confirm this once he receives the card if he needs to back out of the public deal. So 5 talents now, 2 talents next turn, and 2 more talents the next turn after. Total of 9 in total.
I just missed a little bit of the first bit, but
Sure. They're just announcing a public deal right now. So Quintus Octavius and Marcus Decimus are doing a trade.
okay, great.
So I just want to confirm, particularly for those watching at home, that so when you talk about the exchange of talents, that will obviously occur at the revenue phase, which is the only time that money can change hands between factions. So essentially what the player's agreeing to is the card will change now, and then the money will have to come out during the revenue phase. And certainly I take it that you guys both understand that already as well. Yep.
Yes,
So,
yes. Hence why we're making a public deal to ensure
Yes,
that actually occurs.
excellent. Now, I'd like to record these public deals, and I'm open for however this is done, where it's publicly visible for everybody, either on a
Open the
card in the
notebook
forum, or you
in
can
the
actually
top.
use that note box down the right-hand side, I think is best. So sorry, you had a point, Appius Rufus?
Yes, open the notebook in the top.
Yeah, we could
And
do
make
the
it-
notebook as well, because you guys actually don't think we talked about it for those that went on there. Certainly in the notebook, we're keeping our proposal record in there, minute taking during the course of the game. But perhaps for the public record, if you use that little note box down the bottom right hand side and type and edit notes in there, I think is the way to go. And that way it's visible for everybody all the time, so you can see that public deal is on record. So perhaps if either Marcus Decimus or Quintus Octavius, if you want to type in that pencil box down the bottom right hand side, if you're familiar with how to do that, and make the note in there. Can you see that?
Quintus Octavius, you want to do the typing? You're
Good.
probably
Yep, I can see
better
he's
at it
doing
than
it
what
now. There you go.
I am.
Perfect.
I was just doing it in the notebook, yeah. So I'm just doing it in the notebook where I have all the other stuff as well.
No, in that little bottom right hand note section is good. Because the notebook we can't see all the time. I think it's good to have it publicly visible all the time. But yeah, so whoever started typing down the bottom right there, yeah, if you continue doing that, that's good. So we see the you can actually put it straight into his hand because you have that ability. But
I was just waiting for the public deal to be written and confirmed
yeah, righty-o.
and vetted by the Senate.
What was the public agreement again? Shall I type it now?
The public agreement is I'll be handing Quintus Octavius a card. He can publicly confirm that is the card that we discussed. The next revenue phase, I'll be handed 5 talents. The next revenue phase will be an additional 2, and then the third will be another additional 2, for a total of 9 over 3 turns.
Okay.
So in other words, there's a card coming from Marcus Decimus, and there's a bunch of money coming from Quintus Octavius. I suppose it's good to announce when that money is coming out. So that's good. So
Yes.
yeah, if we can put that in that. Yeah, that's it. Good. I can see somebody typing. Perfect. And that way it'll be on record for all to see.
Receive in the second turn. Or now? Shall I now?
It'll be the next next revenue phase.
What will he receive now?
The card. Quintus Octavius will receive the card now.
Card now. And in the next revenue phase?
Yes. Marcus Decimus will receive 5 talents.
No, 5. And
The next turn after will be 2 talents.
Sounds like a good card.
okay.
And then the
what
turn after that, another 2, equaling a total of 9.
And the turn after that, 2 more.
Yes.
Good. Very comprehensive. I like it. And thank you for volunteering to type this too, Tiberius Rufius. That's very good of you. Appius Rufius.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right. With the public deal vetted, I shall hand over the card.
Very good. Excellent.
Quintus Octavius, you want to verify you're happy with that card?
Let me just verify that I'm happy with.
Good. Yeah. Take your time.
I am happy.
He's happy.
All right.
Yep.
Then my side of the deal is complete.
All right. Any other deals that the factions would like to make at this time? I think it sounds like everybody else is happy. Going once, going twice. All right. I think we are sold. So if we look at our next part of the sequence here, we can see that starting with the highest ranking available officer, each player may now play any statesman and or concessions at this time. And we note this part in blue, which is a part of our advanced rules, is that any victorious returning commanders are able to take the option to disband their veteran legions for 1 influence and oratory. Now, it's funny that in the way that the instructions and the rules word this. So essentially by doing this is essentially an indicator to say that they are returning to Rome, which doesn't really occur officially until the declaration. But so if they choose to take this disbandment, then it technically means that they are going to be returning their forces. But, I suppose somebody could bluff and they could take the disbandment and then if they declare rebellion, then we can undisband a veteran legion, lose those data sets. But for me personally, I think it's a bit of an indicator. So yes, I will be returning to Rome. But that also occurs during that intrigue step. And when it comes to that general's turn or that faction's turn, they can make that announcement about disbanding veteran legions if they wish. It's optional, completely optional to do. Bearing in mind that they will personally have to re-raise that legion should they wish to bring them back for the Senate's use in the future. So there's some money involved there. It's always money, right? So let's go to our HRAO, which we know is the Rome consul sitting over here with Marco Wedia in the Red Aquila faction. So starting with you, Marco Wedia, would you like to play any statesman or concession cards from your hand at this time?
No, I wouldn't. Thank you.
Certainly, not a problem. All right, let's go across to Marcus Decimus. Would you like to play any cards, statesman or concessions from your hand at this time?
Yes, I would.
All right, please go ahead and do that. We're cool. We see a Tax Farmer 2 concession come out, which is really good. So that'll give him his senator there an extra 2 talents. Claudius, it looks Claudius as it's going on there, the Pontifex Maximus. So he's going to become a Tax Farmer portfolio manager. Very good. A little bit of extra money. Is there anything else that you're playing at this point in time, Marcus Decimus?
Not at this stage, thank you very much.
Right. Across to Numerus Aurelius. Would you like to play any concessions or statesmen from your hand at this point in time?
Yes, one sec, let me find the correct one.
All right, please go ahead and play your card. Aha, cool, a concession. And let's have a look at this one for everyone at home. It is the Sicilian grain succession. And that is very solid 4 talents per turn. And this also has the graph there, the voluntary ×2 grain concession when there's a drought in effect. So that can be quite valuable going forwards for this faction. And certainly, I'm sure Numerius Aurelius needs a helping hand. No one's going to bat an eyelid at him taking some extra off the top for himself, considering his heavy losses in the first session last week. So, very good. Anything further from you, Numerius Aurelius?
The new province is only 1 turn fresh and corruption starts already.
Right. All right. So that's all from you, Numerius Aurelius. You're all good. Thumbs up. Yeah, thank you. Very good. Quintus Octavius, any cards that you'd like to play at this point in time?
Not at the moment, no.
I am noting from the crowd that apparently there is some sound issues. Not 100% sure why there's a double up there. I'm having a look at my audio. Maybe there's a feedback loop coming through. There we go. I think I just got rid of the doubling problem. I was running 2 different audio channels there. Thanks to both Poach Trout and Jortanos for highlighting that. I do appear to have been running dual sound channels there, so I've hopefully fixed that for everybody watching on stream. Apologies, but thank you everybody for your patience. Good. So sorry, Quintus Octavius, if you want to, I'll re-ask you the question again there now that I've looked at audio. Are you playing any cards today?
No, I will not be.
No, we will not. Okay, not a problem at all. Let's go across to the Yellow Lunar faction with Appius Rufius. Would you like to play any cards from your hand at this point in time?
Not yet, thank you.
Not yet, not a problem. And let's finish off with the Orange Corona faction. Tiberius Cornelius, would you like to play any statesmen or concessions from your hand at this point in time?
No, I'm fine, thank you.
You are fine, thank you. All right, there we go. So we've been around the room, and I'm taking it that you're not looking to disband your Veteran Legion at this point in time?
No, I think the glory of Rome requires all the veterans we can get.
Very good, very good. All right. Let's see from here. I'm just going to make that adjustment. Now we go back down to our little cheat sheet here, and now what we need to do here is we need to do a bit of a discard. So we just need to make sure that everybody has 5 or less cards in their hand, which is definitely the case here. So we are all good there. Fantastic. And now we get to do this. This is a formal step in the process that we do like to do with our returning commanders. It's called the declaration, or really it's whether there's going to be a declaration of rebellion or not. And certainly we haven't seen that in any games recently on this channel, and we haven't, or I haven't seen that much. In fact, in many of the games that I've played, rebelling is difficult. It requires a lot of planning and particularly a lot of money, and certainly we wouldn't see any declarations, or it's very unlikely that we'd see any rebel declarations so early in the early Republic as well. But nonetheless, we have to ask the question and give the opportunity to the returning commanders. So let's go across formally to Tiberius Cornelius and ask him the question, will you be handing back your legions to Rome and standing down your troops as you cross the Pomerium back into Rome?
I shall be.
They shall be. Brilliant. And with that, we thankfully get to see Publius Cornelius Scipio return to Rome. So, Tiberius Cornelius, you now may remove the away from Rome marker from your senator, and you can drop that exactly as you're doing, straight back in the bag. Perfect. And what I can do is I can take that token back and get rid of that. I can then take the general card and pop him back over here. Excellent. And then I think Quintus Octavius is already there waiting for us. He can take our active forces and place them back in our active forces box. Excellent. Well done. So good teamwork, everybody. Brought everything back. Look at that snap nicely there. Perfect. I do like the snap features that are offered in this module, so thanks to Scott, Alex and the team who've put this together. It just certainly makes things much cleaner. Yeah, it is designed to separate across the 2 different sides like that. Yep. So you've got it, Quintus Octavius. Well done. So so good that we didn't lose any legions or fleets, or now we will have to pay for them going forwards, won't we, folks? So but that's okay, because I think we're getting a bunch of money back, which is good. All right, folks. I think now we're going to just double check that we have indeed not actually encountered any victory conditions or other losses at this stage, which is the case. We've certainly got less than the 4 active wars on the deck at the moment, which is great news. But then we don't have anybody that's console for life or anything along those lines. So the game will continue from this point into turn 2 and back to the mortality phase. So I get to click this button here and bring ourselves to the start of turn 2. Yay. Well done, everybody. Well done. We are now going to do the mortality phase, and we know that this is a much quicker process for us now because we're using the new hybrid aging rule. I guess just for a point of record from our last session, and I think I explained this to the players out of session during the course of the week, normally when you're starting the hybrid aging rule, that each faction has to have started with 1 elder token on one of their senators before games start. Now, we didn't do that. I forgot that, but we're going to continue on anyway. There's no point changing that now. But for those who are looking to employ this aging rule in the future, just be mindful that each of the factions need to start with at least 1 elder token on one of their senators of their choice. Right, so let's go ahead and do the aging. What we might do here is, let's ask Numerius Aurelius if you'd like to draw 2 mortality chits from the mortality bag and just place them right next above the elder token, and we'll see if any senators are affected. So there's number 1, if you want to draw a second for us. Because we draw 2 as a part of the process. Right, does anybody have Senator 23 or 21? And I think the answer is probably going to be no. Everybody do a check anyway. Because we're in the early republic and we're only starting with the first 20 senators, it's highly unlikely at this point we're going to see any senators with an ID above 20. And I'm just doing a physical check anyway, but I'm pretty sure I'm confident about that. And that is indeed the case. So no senators will be aging this round, which I'm sure all players are very, very happy with, which is great. So let's have a look at our cheat sheet to make sure we haven't done anything wrong. We have no imminent wars that we need to consider at this point in time. The aging senators we have done. We do need to consider our war exhaustion rule, which we are continuing at the moment. So we now need to age the leftover wars on the board by 1 each. So we get to pull out each of these, and I'm going to advance these each by 1 state. So we've got 1 there, and I'll modify the other one. And then we go Quintus Octavius, if you want to put one of those on each war, and that will give us an indicator to show how old those wars are so far. And they're both aged 1. And they will no doubt disappear very quickly in the coming turns for sure. And with that, folks, that will already conclude our mortality phase. How much quicker is that? Brilliant. We will now change that to the revenue phase, our favourite phase, because we all get to get a lot of money. So just a quick flash.
One question.
Yeah.
In order to clarify it, when was it that the unprosecuted wars would increase our unrest level?
That will occur actually during the population phase, if I'm not mistaken. Does anybody want to challenge me on that?
No. I only wanted to.
I believe it is the population phase. Yep. But yes, good question. Yes. Well asked. So it's always good to keep your unprosecuted wars to a minimum. So sometimes, does the Senate consider sending a sacrificial force but with minimum force at the end of an encounter to ensure that we don't get an extra level of unrest? Who knows? But that's for the Senate to decide. So go ahead. Let's go bring up our revenue calculator. You guys know how this works. Fill in your faction boxes. Make sure you select your relevant provinces and concessions from the right-hand side. And I will go ahead and do the state box on the left for you all. Okay. So a great tool here that Scott has put together. So I'm going to tick the Pontifex Maximus box and the Provincial Wars box. Go ahead and you can now click your Pontifex Maximus box. Apologies, I was too slow on the left-hand side. So for me here, I'm going to check fleets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fleets down there. So I'm going to add 5 fleets over here. Legions, doing quick count. We've got 3, 6, 9... 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16, 17. Yep, good. That confirms my count from earlier. I'm just going to click manually here. I like the feel of the individual clicks. 17, we've got no land bills in effect here. We've got 2 active wars on the books, no droughts, and currently 0 evil omens. All very good. So I'm going to tick the state box on the right-hand side. The state is ready. So now we'll wait for our remaining factions to calculate. Yes.
Did you take into account our special card?
In post, yes, good highlighting everybody. Well done. We'll do that in post. So maybe that's something for a future update for the revenue calculators to include other event cards like the Allied Enthusiasm. So we'll let it do its thing here at the moment. We'll add that 50 talents. That's a good point. We'll add that 50 talents just after we've done the rest of the revenue calculator there. But yeah, well done. I'm glad you guys are keeping track of that and everything happening in your forum. So that's good. And certainly you guys weren't going to let that 50 talents walk away. As good, Poach Trout did indeed confirm for us that it is the unprosecuted wars will affect the unrest during the population phase. All right, I'm seeing everybody's ready except for Appius Rufius is doing some final work there. So that's all right. We'll give him a moment.
He's not ready yet. He needs to do the tax farmer 6.
Yep, that's okay. Are you happen to be lagging?
Hello, yeah, I can hear you. Sorry, Text Farmer, right? Yeah, Text Farmer 6.
Yep, there we go.
Yes.
Good, excellent. All right, it sounds we're all ready. Here we go. Let's go ahead. Somebody can go click the generate revenue button if they wish. Perfect. There we go. We are all up and ready. So if everybody wants to manage their factions first, and then I'll have somebody update the treasury. So I'll speak about it for everybody. So remember, you can distribute all at once here, folks. So between your senators, between your hidden faction treasuries, just make sure that you're only dealing with what's next to your total there. So the Red Aquila faction's getting a total of 5 talents this round. The Orange Corona faction's getting 8. Yellow Luna's getting 7. The Green Manos faction's getting 7. The Blue Palmer faction is getting 8. And the Purple Solars faction is getting 9. Very good. And of course, this takes into account the amount of senators, of course, knights, as well as concessions as well. And the Pontifex Maximus rule is given a little bit of extra money. It's only given 1 this round, unfortunately, for the Pontifex Maximus, but that's okay. Known here as temple donations, which is a nice effect. I like that. I do like that. Now so as the players have finished distributing their funds, I will obviously remind people about the public deal. So to make sure that the players accordingly subtract and then add the appropriate amount of money there. So I'll leave that to the 2 players to confirm the money is changing yellow tokens correctly.
All right, I've taken +5.
All right, and I want to make
I
sure
have
that...
subtracted 5 from my total.
Cool, so really you've only got 2 talents to play with. Is that correct, Quintus Octavius?
That's correct.
That is correct. Awesome. All right, and now today, so noting cost of legions, fleets, and active wars, plus our annual revenue, the state is only getting 16 talents right now, plus 50. So if you'd like to add 66 talents to the state treasury there, please, Quintus Octavius, to what we've already got, that would be fantastic.
I added the 16 to the 47.
Oh, you've already added the 16 to the 47? All right, and at this point, feel free to add the 50 as well from the Allied Enthusiasm. Happy for you to do that as well now. And that should bring us to, there we go, 113. And we can now remove that event because it's been action, and we'll place that back in our events pile.
Question, did Marcus Decimus receive the money from...
He did, yeah, good. Thank you for checking. He did. I'm pleased to say that Marcus Decimus received his money, and Quintus Octavius has only got 2 talents to play with this round, so everything is balanced on the sheets, which is great.
Question.
Yeah.
How do I get a new money marker?
Certainly. So if you quickly click and drag from the yellow circle in the middle there, that'll get you one. So can you see that little in the middle?
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Now quickly click and drag. There you go. Perfect.
Done.
Much easier than Roll20, isn't it? That's good. And we'll just wait for you to finish updating your money. And when you're ready, if you want to... sorry, I'm waiting for Appius Rufius, rather. Red Aquila is done and ready. Everybody's got to tick their box. All right, so we can... everybody's now moved their money around. We can now close that box. Perfect.
I didn't put the things on. Sorry.
Oh, okay. You're
ready. Sorry.
You're right. Just take your moment to update your figures, either on your senators or your faction treasury. How would you get 5?
Yeah, I get 5.
Yeah. So happy for you to not tick your faction box until you've distributed funds, so that number stays up for your record.
Done.
All right,
Ready.
so you've allocated all 5
Yep.
going to one of your senators
Yep.
there. Is that correct? Papirius? Yeah, cool.
Yep.
All right, nice. I like it. So let's go look at the rest of our revenue phase here and have a look. So the players have now done their personal revenues and redistribution as one step. Public deals have been dealt with according as they need to. Province developments would normally occur at this point as well, but we don't have any provinces assigned as governors yet. But the revenue calculator will automatically look after province development for us, provided, even if they're corrupt or not, it'll just be a harder go if the governor is corrupt there. So that's really good. It'll handle all that. State revenue has been looked after, and again, if there are provinces in play, it'll automatically calculate that in the revenue calculator. So that's really good. But now we get to ask the players if they would like to do some contributions. I see somebody's considering the persuasion calculator already. Perhaps if you want to use the personal one down the bottom, the physical ones, yeah, there we go, to have a play around with while you consider. So let's go around, starting with the highest ranking available officer. And sorry, if I can close that persuasion calculator for the moment. There's a physical one down the bottom for somebody who's looking to run some numbers for their consideration. I think there's an update that I could apply thanks to Scott, which can actually bring up tools independently for the players. So we might consider that for future sessions. I'll look into that. Right, sorry, we're talking about contributions. So starting with the HRAO, down across the Rome console, we'll ask if they would like to make any contributions to the state. So Mark Gawedia, would you have any senators willing to or wanting to make a state contribution today?
Not at this time.
Not at this stage. Let's go across to Marcus Decimus in the purple faction. Anything from you today?
Not today, thank you.
Not today. Down to Numerius Aurelius. Anything from you, good senator? Not from you. Perfect. Quintus Octavius, anything from you? Any estate contributions?
That would be none.
That'll be none. Cool. And let's go across to Appius Rufius. Any state contributions from you today?
No, not for me.
Not from you. Tiberius Cornelius. Any state contributions from you today?
No.
Not from you. And that is everybody. So nobody's looking to make any contributions to the state at this time. We don't need to worry about debts. The calculator did that for us. And if we had any governors, they would get to determine local force distribution at this point. Excuse me. And then, of course, yes, the governor's terms will be reduced by 1. There we go. I think that now concludes our revenue phase. Any questions from our senators at this point? Good. Let's go up here and let's change our revenue phase to now in the forum phase. This is where the action starts here. And as we know, we step through our initiative steps here, and we'll start with the HRAO in just a moment with our roll 2d6, and we're looking for a magic number 7 or not, and then we step through persuasions, knights, sponsoring of games, and any faction leader changes. And once everybody's done that, then we put Rome in order, ready for the population phase. So heading across to our HRAO, the Rome console, Marca Wedia is the order that we're rotating through here. So that matters, and for certainly the Senates consider this turn order sometimes when electing new office holders as well. So because it can sometimes make a bit of a difference. So Marca Wedia, at your leisure, if you'd like to roll 2d6, please. There we go, and you are going to roll a 9. So there's going to be no event at this point in time. Please draw the top card off the deck, a nice quick flick, and drag that into your hand.
Okay.
A quick click and drag, that's it. Drop that into your hand and then have a look at it for me. And you're looking to see whether it's a black forum text card or a red faction card. If it's a black forum text card, we're going to have it in public.
No, it's not.
So it's a red text faction card?
Yeah.
All right,
correct.
you're going to keep that to your chest. So you get to hang on to that for now. So it's either some sort of intrigue card or an assassin card or a concession or even a statesman potentially is the type of cards that make up faction cards. All right, let's complete the rest of your initiative here. Would you like to make a persuasion attempt today? Either on an unaligned senator or an aligned senator. Now, I guess I note that the unaligned senator has 5 talents already on his hand, I guess, which makes it a little bit more difficult. But I'll leave that decision to you to make.
I had a quick question
Yeah.
for you. I think I might have texted it to you in Facebook chat about persuasion attempts. I was just wondering if you had a chance to.
I can see it here. Let me just switch my profiles and bring that up just quickly, and I'll see if I can consider that for you right now. Let's have a look. Wrong one. Here we go. To answer your question, yes. The answer to your question is yes.
Okay, I'm just going to check that I phrased that question correctly.
Yeah, but the card will tell you that. If you got the card that I'm thinking of, it'll explicitly state that for you. So if you have a read, it'll confirm that for you.
Okay, so it is basically unopposed then.
Right. Correct. There'll be no interference.
Okay. I'm going to I am going to make a persuasion attempt.
Okay. So, who from your faction will be doing the persuading today?
It will be Papyrus.
Papyrus. So I'm going to have a look down here. Yes. Who's got an influence of 8? I see. Very good. And what, or rather, who are you looking to persuade today?
I was thinking of persuading Achilles.
Looking to persuade Achilles. Very good. So, all right. So let's see here. We have Papyrus with an influence of 8. I'll put that into a little calculator here. His oratory is 2. I'll ask you about bribes in just a minute. Let's talk about a persuadees. That's Achilles here. His current loyalty is 7. Thank you for that person. He's not aligned. I guess for the sake of here, I mean, there's not a box that explicitly talks about talents, but we could technically put that in the counter bribe box. But is there anything else that you want to do at this stage before we ask about any bribes that you'd like to make? Would you like to make a bribe?
So if I did put a bribe onto it, would it basically make much of a difference?
I think so. So at the moment, there's a bribe box up here. So if you were to add, say, 5 talents, it would make your target die roll 8. So 8 or less on a roll of 2d6 is what you're aiming for. Without any bribe right now, it's a 3 equal to 3 or less, which is quite difficult on a 2d6, as you could appreciate. So certainly a bribe would be encouraged.
Yeah, I will add the 5.
A full 5? All right, if you could place... maybe just place that 5 token on his card as well. So place that 5 from Papyrus to Achilles' card. There you go. And we're going to add that bribe onto here. So currently we're looking at a target dice roll of equal to 8 or less for the persuasion. So unless you've got anything else you want to do at this stage, I'm now going to go around the room and ask anybody else if they'd like to counter bribe. Are you right for me to carry on with that?
Yeah.
Okay, so cross to Marcus Decimus. Would you like to do any counter bribes from your faction treasury at this point in time?
No, thank you.
Okay, Numerius Aurelius, any faction treasury counter bribes? Not from you. Quintus Octavius, any counter bribes from you?
No, thank you.
No, thank you. Cross to Yellow faction. Appius Rufus, any counter bribes from you?
Not from me.
Not from you. And finally, Tiberius Cornelius, any counter bribes from you?
No, thank you.
No, thank you. All right, so I guess I can ask you the question again if you wanted to add more money, but you've run out. We're going to make, this should be fairly comfortable, equal to 8 or less on a 2d6. That's pretty good.
Can I just ask,
Yep, I know. But,
if I recall from last session,
press it twice.
Shouldn't the money
hang
that's
on.
on
I don't think we've quite completed our calculation yet.
Okay.
So we have to make sure that his original 5 talents is accounted for, which it's currently not. So let's add that as like the counter bribe. Is that the point you're going to bring up, Marcus Decimus?
Correct.
Yeah, cool, awesome. So we nearly missed it. So what we're really looking for here is a roll of equal to 3 or less on a 2d6. Sorry, we had to make sure.
That's really unlikely. I thought it was 8. Oh.
We didn't take into account the money already on his card, which makes it a little bit more difficult. But it's worth a roll. We're here now. There's still a minor chance, right? It's 3 equal to 3 or less.
Okay.
Oh, unlucky. But at least you have the knowledge now, knowing that he's now even more difficult for somebody else to try and persuade. All right, let's move on to something a little bit more positive. Let's talk about knights. Who would you like to roll for? Oops, sorry, I moved your card there. Who would you like to roll for a knight today?
Papyrus will roll for a knight.
All right, a 1d6. You're looking for a 6 today. And you get ooh, close 5, unlucky. Would you like any to sponsor in games today? Probably not, because considering none of your senators have any money left. And then finally, would you like to change your faction leader at all?
Yeah, I was considering changing it to Papyrus.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. This is a perfect time to do that. So now Papyrus will be your faction leader. All right. That now concludes your initiative step. Let's go across to Marcus Decimus, who's next in clockwise direction here. 2d6, my good sir, when you are ready. You will roll a 8, just missing out of that event token. Please go ahead and drag yourself a card and pop that in your hand. I think Poach Trout was giving me a little shortcut before for something. Now, is that a faction card or is that a forum card today, sir?
That is a faction card.
Oh, good for you. Well done. Any persuasion attempts from you today, sir?
I don't think so. Let's just quickly, I'll just, if I can, use the calculator.
Yeah, take your time. Happy for you to take your time. Consider your options.
Just to see if it's even worth having a crack or not.
That's what it's here for. So I'll read this out from Poach Trout, who's one of our, obviously our expert for the module. He says, a tip for drawing cards from the deck. If the player hovers their mouse over the deck and press 1 on their keyboard, then the tabletop simulator will automatically draw 1 card and add it to their hand. Wow. Okay, well, we're going to do that in the future. So when we get round to Nemurus Aurelius, he can be the first one to test that. Hovering over the deck and pressing 1 will issue 1 card to your hand directly, which will make things a little bit easier. Thank you. What another great tip. I love it. We get a couple of great tips every session that we play, and continue to fall even madder and deeper in love with TTS.
I'm not going to do any persuasion attempts.
Sure. All right. That's okay. Who's going to be having a go for a knight today?
I'll do my faction leader. I'm going to put in 4 talents.
4 talents in. So essentially you're looking for a 6, a 5, a 4, a 3, or a 2. So just don't roll a 1, right? Yay, well done. Go ahead and increase your knight token by 1 there. Good. So you now have 2 knights on Alias's card. Very good. Would you like anybody to sponsor any games today?
No, thank you.
No, thank you. And any faction leader changes from you?
No.
Alrighty. Now, Nemurus Aurelius, so we're now going to come to your turn. Let's start with a 2d6. Let's see if we get a 7 or not. Either roll physical or click dice, whatever you like. You are going to get a 5. Let's test out the 1 draw and tell me if it works. Hover, class 1. Oh, I saw that. Very good. That's clean. Now, is that a faction or forum card today, sir?
That's a faction card.
Oh, look at this. Brilliant. You guys are getting all the good cards today, adding to your hand. Very good. Any persuasion attempts from you today, sir?
No, thank you.
No, thank you. Let's see. Who's going to be having a go for a knight today?
Both of my guys, I think.
You can have 1 senator roll for a knight.
I guess old Manlius will then.
Manlius will. Okay. Any talents would he like to spend?
Yeah, he'll spend 4.
4, all right. So pretty much, I'll see you deduct that from his token, and just don't roll a 1 on a 1d6. Here we go. Oh, you're kidding. That's just irritating, isn't it? Anybody looking to sponsor games today? Probably not. And finally, any faction leader change for you?
Nah, I'm all good, thanks.
Oh, good for you. All right, Quintus Octavius, round to you. Let's roll 2d6. Let's see if we get a 7 or not. Physical or double click at your leisure. There's 2 die, and we are going to get a 6. No event. All right, go ahead and draw yourself a card. Is that faction or forum today, sir?
It is faction.
Oh, really? Wow, look at these. All the faction cards come out. Gosh, you guys are lucky. I'm so happy for you all. Cool. Any persuasion attempts from you today, sir?
There were not.
Not from you. Let's see now. Who's going to be having a go for a knight today?
Oh, we shall have my lovely faction leader, Julius.
Cool. Any money for the cause?
No.
No? All right, you're looking for a 6. Fire away. You're going to get unlucky there. But hey, worth a roll anyway. Let's see. Anybody sponsoring any games today? Probably not.
No.
And finally, any faction leader change for you?
No, there will not be.
Not for you. All right, let's move around. Appius Rufius, hello to you, sir. 2d6 at your leisure, either physical dice or a double click, your choice. We're looking for a 7 or not. We are going to get... Oh, look at that. We get a 7. What does that mean, folks? I think this is going to be our second event draw for the deck. So I'm going to change my view for the folks at home and move to the random events table here. So now what Appius Rufius is going to do is he's going to roll a 3d6 now. We're going to look at the early Republic column over here and see what event is drawn. The Pontifex Maximus has tightened into his seat to make sure that a 10 is not rolled.
I'm trying to build the church's coffers. I'm trying.
So, Appius Rufius at your leisure. He's going to roll a 3d6 and he's going to get an 11. Now, we're going to see Storm at Sea. So, Appius Rufius, I'll leave this to you. If you'd like to go to the events deck and either do a manual or search, if you right-click search, look for Storm at
just a
Sea.
quick thing about that.
What's
So
that,
I
sorry?
believe when we pulled the Allied Enthusiasm last time, it messed up the deck. So if you have to take it off, and it's now random people have different amounts of cards in that deck. So I can only see 5 cards in there at the moment. And Allied
They're like
Enthusiasm
two
as well.
decks on top of each other. I can kind of see it. If I put my cursor to the bottom of the deck.
Could you please stop the search that we can pull them out?
There we go.
Okay.
Let's have a
We
look.
have to. Let's.
There we go. Yeah, it was. There's 2 decks on top of each other. I see. We just didn't put them back properly. Okay. So, just as Poach Trap will no doubt jump into the chat box, you said, once we've got a full deck, you can right-click and do a search function as well, because these cards have been named. But it doesn't matter. We found the cards, so somebody can resurrect that deck. I can see. Well done. Thank you, Quintus Octavius. You're being very helpful. And Appius Rufius has pulled the Storm at Sea for us. So I'm going to pull that up for the players at home. And let's have a bit of a read. So it says here, a 2d6 Roman fleets of the HRAO's choice, deployed or not deployed, but excluding provincial fleets, that makes sense, are eliminated off a roll. So we'll do that in just a moment, up to a maximum of those currently existing. So we've only got 5, excuse me. There is no effect on legions, although some may have to be withdrawn to Italy for lack of support if sufficient additional fleets cannot be raised during the Senate phase. But we're not at war right now. We've got no deployed forces, so it's not going to be such a major impact for us, but nonetheless, we're probably going to end up losing some fleets here. This event has no effect on the construction of new fleets, so it's really just a fleet loss tool that we're going to see here. So it's a 2d6 that we're going to have a roll. Noting it's the HRAO's choice, we'll have perhaps the HRO can do the roll and then pick which fleets we lose, assuming it's less than 5. But on a 2d6 roll, we're up for a hefty cost, I think, anyway. So, Mark Gawedia, at your leisure, if you can just roll a 2d6 for me, a double click on the black dice square circle, and we'll see what sort of penalty we're going to cop from this Storm at Sea. So 2 dice popping up, keep the number low. We're going to get, it's pretty much everything. So... that's unfortunate. Quintus Octavius, I see that you're already in the area. If you want to discard those 5 fleets for us back into the box, good. I'm pleased to see you're not attempting the delete key, because heaven forbid we don't want to delete our legions or fleets. We'll put them back in the box. So that's unfortunate for us, but certainly not the worst event I've seen, for sure. Tiberius Cornelius, if you wanted to drop that event now back in the event cards section, we've actioned that accordingly, so that doesn't have to stay in the forum anymore, which is good. So thank you for returning that. That's really good. Now we can finish off the turn for Appius Rufius. Appius Rufius, would you like to make a persuasion attempt today?
Yes, I'm trying.
Oh, very exciting. So who will be doing our persuading today?
It will be Valerius.
Okay, Valerius here, I see. So let's get some stats for him. So first of all, his influence is 5. His oratory is 2. And who will be persuading today?
Furious. We will try Furious.
An aligned center. So we have Furious, the current censor over here, run by Marcus Decimus. So let's get his stats. So his loyalty is currently 8. He is aligned. And we'll ask you now about bribes. So would you like to make any bribes to make this a certainty today from Valerius?
I don't think it will be certainty, but 14 talents.
So we're going to add 14. If you'd like to go place that on the good senses card now, please. Those 14 talents.
I'll just increase the one that's here. So we're
Yeah,
not moving
sure.
stuff around.
I'm perfectly happy with that.
Okay.
And all right, so we've now got that. So we're now going to go around the circle in a clockwise fashion and ask if anybody would now like to make a counter bribe from their faction treasury. So I'm now going to move to your left and go to Tiberius Cornelius. Tiberius Cornelius, any counter bribes from your faction treasury today, sir?
No.
Not from you. All right, Marta Wedi, any counter bribes from you today? You're mute currently, Marta Wedi. Was that a head
Not
shake? No.
today.
All right, good. Let's move across. Marcus
No,
Decimus.
I have no money.
Okay, Marcus Decimus, any counter bribes from you, good sir?
Not today, thanks.
Not today. Numerous Aurelius, any counter bribes from you, good sir?
No, thank you.
No, thank you. And Quintus Octavius, any counter bribes from you today, good sir?
Agreed.
I'm going to take that as a no.
You do agree? I'll go 4 in.
4 in. All right. So if you could please deduct 4 from your hidden faction treasury, please. I'm now going to add the counter bribe of 4 to the counter bribe box here. Now going to go. I'm going to ask the question, but he obviously can't because he hasn't got any money left. But I was going to ask the question of Appius Rufius if he wanted to add additional counter bribe there, but it appears he cannot as he has run out to 0. Just making sure those additional 4 talents get added to Furius's card on top of his 14 now because he'll get to retain those. And we now see it's quite a difficult persuasion calculator. It's a 2 or less on a 2d6. A very, very small chance, but worth the roll. So at your leisure, Appius Rufius, please 2d6, and let's see if you pull off the greatest miracle ever. Oh, that looked nearly, for a brief moment there, it looked, oh, that could have been good, but sadly, no persuasion success there. And we see Furious make a lot of money off that, so good for him. Let's finish off the turn for Appius Rufius. Who's going to be rolling for a knight today, good sir? You're currently mute. There we go.
It will be Quinctius.
Quinticus is going to roll for knight. Any money to the cause? Probably not. He's got 0, so you're looking for a 6. Ooh, unlucky there. Anybody sponsoring any games? Probably not. I see a lot of 0s on the board. And last question, any faction leader change from you today, good sir?
None.
None for you. All right. Tiberius Cornelius, we now get to have your turn. So at your leisure, 2d6, please. We're looking for a 7, either manual or double click. I like it. You are going to get a 7. We're going to have another event. So I'm going to change my view for the players at home up to the random events table here. And when you're ready, please roll a 3d6 and let's see what we get this time.
13.
Getting a 12. Oh, manpower shortage. Although that's probably not going to be a major issue for you guys considering you've got a massive force out there already. So if somebody would please like to get the manpower shortage from the event deck, please. I see Quintus Octavius has got over there first. So we'll let Quintus Octavius grab the manpower shortage and place that in the forum for us and we'll have a read. Very good. I'm going to bring that up to Zoom. Here we go. Manpower shortage. The cost of raising new legions and fleets is increased by 20 talents. And we place, now, we do actually have a different token for the manpower shortage. And what we have is over here is we've got this little marker down here where it says Legion of Fleet Cost. So if you right-click on that, Quintus Octavius, and you can actually change the state to be 20 talents, which becomes our reminder. There you go. You've got it. That's it. So we'll leave also that event in the forum as a reminder as well, but we can see the Legion and Fleet Cost is going to be 20. So right next to the Legion bag, that will double reminder for us for the cost of Legions coming to the Senate phase. However, you guys are in a pretty good position where I don't think that's going to affect you too much. Let's finish the term for Tiberius Cornelius. Tiberius Cornelius, any persuasion attempts from you today, good sir? Come in, Tiberius Cornelius. Any persuasion attempts from you today, good sir?
None.
None for you. Who will be rolling for a knight today?
It will be Calpurnicus.
Calpurnicus. Any money for the cause?
Yeah, I'll use all 5.
All right, that's going to be an automatic. So go ahead and roll for shits and giggles and deduct your 5 and up your knight token by 1. Very good. That will be fantastic. And then from there, I'm going to assume there's going to be no sponsorships of games, noting your current funding level. And would you like to change your faction leader today?
No.
All right. Let's now go to Markawedia. Well, you're done. You've already done your initiative, so we've done everybody, which is really great. So let's go ahead and put Rome in order from here. So, to start with, can I please have all senators holding a major office grab yourself a major corruption marker, and they're in the middle of the board where it says corrupt. Click and drag, and you can flip it over using your F key to get major. So that'll be Censor, Pontifex Maximus, Rome Consul, and Field Consul will each get major. So make sure it says major on your marker, but that's pretty obvious anyway. This is also a good time to double check that everybody's concessions should be revealing the corrupt portion on their card, and I think that you've all done that without a reminder. So that's very good of you all. Well done. And I'll just do a quick head check to make sure everyone's got the corruption marker who should have one. Just waiting on the Field Consul to grab one.
Where are they?
Right in the center of the board. You can see that's it.
Yep.
Perfect. Right next to the prior console markers there. That's it. A quick click and drag. You'll do it quickly. That's it. Perfect. And then press F and it'll flip it over to say major. That's it. Good. That's all in order. So that means that the censor can be notified on what's happening there. Then we can see, thankfully, we don't have a second Punic War or a Gladiator Slave Revolt right now, so we don't have to worry about tax farms being destroyed. And now we get to go do the rolls in the Curia. So we're going to be doing a roll of a 1d6 for every senator and enemy in the Curia. So I'm going to change my view and bring it over. So we're going to do enemy leaders first because they're at the top of the field, and we're talking about Hamilcar here. So aging on a 5 or a 6, we'll get to discard Hamilcar entirely from our game. He'll never, ever again affect us. So fingers crossed. So let's have Markawedia. Markawedia, if you'd like to click a single 1d6 for me at your leisure. There you go. And let's see if we get a 5 or a 6. Hey!
Oh, that's very
I like
good.
that. I like that a lot.
Good.
That is a great roll from the Rome console. Hamilcar is no longer going to be an issue for us. That is brilliant news. Now, let's see if we can make it 2 from 2. Sulpicius is looking to start his fresh political career. We're going to do repopulating. End of forum phase, recovering on a 5 or a 6. So again, a 1d6 at your leisure, and let's see if we can resurrect Sulpicius. So rolling the die, I see, and we get not as lucky there. But I think you got the critical one, which was getting rid of the enemy leader. So brownie points for you. People are going to remember your reign for some time to come for certain. Good. Now, this is also a great point before we head into the next phase. Can everybody make sure that your votes are up to speed, please? So that is your oratory plus knights. So be sure that your vote token next to your little symbol at the front of your faction area is truly representative of your current votes. So that is oratory plus knights, and I know at least 2 of you, I think, got knights this round. So there will be some minor vote changes there. So let's do some sample here. So checking Aquila faction should be...
I do have a point of order.
Yes, please.
May I ask, from where was the counter bribe coming? I know it came from Quintus, but from where was it? From his faction treasury?
Where did what come from? Sorry,
his counter bribe. Did it come from his?
It did come from his faction treasury. That is correct.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, good. That's a fine question to ask, and I think I saw his cursor move there. But yes, that is correct. It came from his faction treasury, which is the requisite for a counter bribe. That is correct. And certainly a good reminder for everybody. But it appears that we have executed that part correctly, which is good. So thank you to Quintus Octavius for doing the correct notion there. Excellent. So everybody's votes are updated. So we're going to see 6 for Markawedia. We're going to see 11 for Tiberius Cornelius. 6 currently for Appius Rufius. So, and we can see that it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, good. For Quintus Octavius, we're going to have 6 again here. Numerius Aurelius has 4, and we see a fairly commanding 12 for Marcus Decimus over there in the purple. Very good. Any questions from our senators before we move out of the forum phase?
No.
Very, very good. All right. I think, folks, before we jump into the population phase, I think it's probably a nice spot to have a bit of a break. Would you like to have a bit of a break now?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's very
Um,
good. All right, folks.
I've got a question. I got a question for the chat at home.
Question first. Yeah, ask away.
Question for the chat at home. What is the probability of having the second turn of the early deck not draw any wars and then have a roll to destroy the leader for all the Punic Wars?
Oh, actually, that was a great point. We didn't draw any wars from that turn. Wow, that was amazing. I mean, granted, we had 2 events drawn, which helps to reduce the probability, right? We only had 4 new cards drawn, but they were all faction cards, which is really
all
great.
would have taken one of the Punic Wars to be drawn, which would have pulled the leader, which wouldn't have given us the chance to kill
We are
the
still
leader.
in the population phase, guys.
Yeah, so we'll start the population phase once we come back from break. I think we'll take an opportunity for a break here. So those watching the live stream, we'll be back in about 5 minutes. Please come back. We'll give our senators a bit of a leg stretch, and then we'll come right back in, and we will start with the population phase. We'll be right back very soon. Hoorah. And we are back. Salvete omnes. Yes, I am Decimus Aurelius Ingeniarius, hosting the Republic of Rome board game broadcast for 2022. We've just come back from a short break for our senators as we now enter into the population phase for turn 2. Very exciting, very happy. Certainly lots going on. This will be an interesting Senate phase for sure. But before we can get there, we've got to do the population phase, and where it'll be the 3d6 roll by the HRAO that will determine the start of the Senate phase. That's an important thing to note. So irrespective of card flips up the top here or what people say, the moment that 3d6 is rolled, we enter into the Senate phase. That is our official clock start. So that's a good reminder. All the senators have updated their faction vote tokens as we move in. So everybody's got the correct voting tokens. And now we can have a look at our cheat sheet and just double check what we need to do. It's pretty simple from here. We're going to double check modifications to the unrest level. So it's normally +1 for every drought and unprosecuted wars. Now we're just going to do a double check of our wars just to make sure there is indeed no hidden drought effects on these wars. I don't think so. No, I think we're pretty good, aren't we, folks? Yeah, good. So there's no hidden drought effects, but we do have 2 unprosecuted wars, which we are now going to see an increase in 2. So yes, go ahead, Quintus Octavius, please increase to 2. All right, so we're going to see that as an effect, as a modifier to the 3d6 roll for our State of the Republic address, which will be done by our Rome Consul and CC Marcawedia. So Rome Consul is Papirius. So, speaking on behalf of Papirius, Marca Guerdia Novella, please, at your leisure, I'd love to hear your announcement to the Senate for the State of the Republic. Your floor is yours.
Thank you, everybody, for your wonderful contributions to creating a cohesive Senate, in providing us with sound decision-making and supportive forces. I would like to pay homage to our very brave field consul, who has basically helped to bring us to victory and helped us. Cornelius Scipio Africana helped us to basically reduce the many things that we've would have had to think about ongoingly. And I look forward to many future wars and experiences that we will all have. Thank you, everybody.
Neat. Thank you very much. Good speech by the Rome consul there. All right, at your leisure, Marcoedia, please, a 3d6, and we'll -2 from that result to see how the public fare. So we've rolled an 8 there. -2 brings us to 6. We're going to see an increase of +4 now to the unrest level. And if somebody would like to do that, Quintus Octavius already on the money. So we're going to bring our unrest level to 6 there. So that may give the Senate something to think about. And as we know, we are already in the Senate phase. So Marcoedia, the floor is yours to do the first of the mandatory proposals. So over to you to run your Senate.
Okay, thank you, everybody. So I suppose everybody is very interested to know, with thought of close consideration about the election of the new Rome consuls. So I am going to put forward a proposal for Rome consuls. So I'm going to.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Before this proposal, I want to.
Yes.
Aha.
Is, was this proposal actually started already or not?
No, I'm happy to say that the proposal was not yet known. So this will now trump this will be the first proposal, your Tribune.
Okay, I propose to strip the Pontifex Maximus of his office.
All right, so let's us first just make sure that that this can indeed be considered at this point in time. So, from what I understand, the stripping of a Pontifex Maximus can't occur until sequence 6. So what that really means is that this proposal is valid, but not until we complete some of the mandatory proposals. So essentially what this means is that I expect to hand back over to the HRAO to continue the election of...
You can do it at any phase, though. At any Senate phase. The rules stated explicitly.
Oh, is that right? Can you bring that up in the rule book for my understanding, just on the rule book on screen, because that is quite pertinent. Because I think that says what's different to my cheat sheet here, which is manual. That's not an authority source by any means. It says I've got it as an any sequence, any time after sequence 6. But if the rule book says differently, then certainly that changes things for sure. So yeah, if you want to find it in the rule book up here.
It is with the advanced rules, right?
Okay, let's go have a look at advanced rule, Pontifex Maximus. Go to that section in the book. Pontifex Maximus, here we go. Election.
It is the last one. It's the last one. We recall. And advanced rules trump any other rules because they break other rules.
Correct.
Because they trump them.
They do. Right. So I'm just trying to find the particular line in question.
It's 2.0.18.
Oh, 2.0.
Yeah, how I read it is the Pontifex Maximus may be stripped of his major office during any Senate phase during other business.
Yeah, during other business. So that's what I've currently got on the cheat sheet there, which is any time after sequence 6. So that currently confirms my understanding, which is what other business is any time after sequence 6 here.
Did you read it from the rules or from the?
Yeah, we're reading it from the 1.07 rules. It's right here. Yeah, 2.01.8 recall. If you have a look, we're all reading up here.
Oh, then it was a change. I had opened the
so this is the 1.07 living rules. So it may have changed from a previous version. It may have changed from a previous version.
Okay.
Noting that you may have been accidentally looking at a previous rule set. Now, granted, your Tribune can still be effective, and that can still be the first business proposal when we get to other business, if you want it to continue to run its course. If not, I think I'm probably happy for you to withdraw it at this time because of the previous rule set that you may have been looking at there.
No, what has been played has been played.
Okay, yeah, cool, and I admire you for that. So that Tribune will come into effect in the moment we hit other business, when we are able to undertake such a proposal. I'm actually going to, good. I'm just going to leave that out just to remind ourselves that we have to come back to you and I guess to run that proposal when we get to other business. So that's good. So for now, we're going to go back to the Rome console, and you may now continue with your thought process on the election of the first consuls. Mark
Okay, so hello, thank you,
Good.
everybody. So the first proposal that I was going to put forward was for the Rome consuls, and so I would like to put forward. So we have from the, where are we?
And feel free to use the nominee tokens as well. That makes things really easy for people to see the color tokens up there. Yep. Next to the land bills, you can see all the yeah, they're good. So if you slap those down, that can show who your candidates are.
And I think we're looking at. Okay, so Junius from the Parma faction, and also Emilius from the Luna faction.
All right.
Sorry, who was it? I wasn't looking. Oh, I see the nominees. So good.
That's the beauty of the nominee tokens, right? Makes it nice and easy to see.
Let's see. I can see one. Where's the other one? Oh, there. Okay, sorry, it's different color.
So at your leisure, Rome Consul, as the presiding magistrate, you can, of course, call for votes at any time. Just a reminder to our other factions, when you are first called upon by the presiding magistrate, but as you place your yay or nay votes, please announce those publicly, stating that your faction is declaring these votes for this yay or nay. But, of course, at the call and beckon of the presiding magistrate, who will run the order of the vote, of course. I think we've lost Marika Weddy. I think she's doing a reset. That's okay. We'll give her a moment to come back, and perhaps an opportunity for you guys to continue the consideration of the current nominees on the board. So we have, yes, Junius so far from Numerius Aurelius' faction, and we have Emilius from the... Hello, you're back.
Sorry,
You're right.
I was calling for votes from Marcus Decimus first.
All right, there we go.
This way.
I'll place my 12 votes against the proposal.
Secondly, Numerius Aurelius.
Sorry, that's 4 votes in favour of the proposal.
Quintus Octavius. Okay, the Appius Rufius.
6 votes against.
The Tiberius Cornelius' faction, Corona.
11 in favour.
Thank you.
Okay, and 6 in favour.
Ooh, that's
Yeas have it.
That's pretty close.
Very close.
Yeas have it by 3 votes.
There you go. All right, that proposal passes. So in slow time, if the old consoles could first and foremost take a prior console marker to make sure you guys get your benefits from that. The prior console markers are in the center of the board next to the corrupt token. So grab yourself one of those if you're a Rome or field console. And then if you want to place your respective tokens back in the middle of the board where the new consoles can grab them from there. Nice, good, excellent, well done, Marika Wedia. And the nominee tokens can go back as well. Fantastic, excellent, good job. Field console, Tiberius Cornelius, make sure you grab yourself a prior console marker. You can see those, can you, Tiberius Cornelius?
So what am I doing?
Grab yourself a prior console marker for your field console.
Sorry. Yep.
Yep, that's it. Yeah, return that. Very good. And yeah,
Where are they?
your prior console markers are right next to your corruption markers, right in the center of the board near your physical dice there. That's it. You found them. Good job. Yeah, don't want you missing out on that. And I guess the new consoles can now take their tokens and then increase their influence by 5 in both cases. So, of course, those consoles are probably having a discussion right now about who is going to be who. And as is our custom, we normally have the field console announce the Rome console through public applause, I guess, or announcement. So we'll just let them continue that discussion. It sounds like they're having that discussion in the background, which is fine.
Yeah, I sent you a message, Appius.
Okay, so the two factions are sharing some personal messages through TTS right now, having a discussion about going forwards.
No, the answer is no. So
Okay, yeah, I don't mind. You can do it the other way.
So what does it mean? You take. So I can choose. It doesn't mean.
Well, I mean, I'll agree the other way. So if you don't want to do what I said, then I'm happy the other way. So.
Okay. Then I will take the Rome console.
Yep. Well, as field console, I announce Aurelius as the Rome console.
Hooray! Claps all around. All right, so yes, Roman field console, yes, taking your new tokens, and please increase your influence by the 5 in both cases. So click on your little center white tokens there. So I see Junius, he'll go up from 8, I think, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Is that correct? And
I
then,
already did that.
Oh, you've already done. So he's now at 8, I see. And Aurelius, is he now at 6? Is that correct?
He's at 6, yes.
Yeah, cool.
Correct.
I see. So he was originally at 1. I see. Yeah, good. You guys are on the money. Very good. Good. Our old consoles got prior console markers. Fantastic. All right.
So next is my Tribune, right? Next is my Tribune because
that's your Tribune still. Yep, we're keeping track of that. That'll come relevant.
So I can propose something now with this Tribune because what I wanted to propose was not possible according to the rules, but this means that the Tribune comes next.
There's still some other work to do, mandatory stuff to go on.
Okay.
So in particular is the vote on the censor. But you as presiding magistrate will get to run this next proposal anyway. So it's now your floor. So over to you, Appius Rufius. It's now your Senate.
Okay. So I can propose it now as Rome console or as Tribune. So then
as
it is the
Rome
question,
console,
can I take the
you
card
are
back now or
proposing
not?
as Rome console, you're proposing the censor.
But when will actually then the Tribune be played?
When we get to other business, which is after sequence 6.
Yeah,
So
but
if
now no, you don't see what I mean. Now I am the Rome console and will make the proposals anyway.
Yeah, so he doesn't need to use the Tribune card.
So what I was asking, I should have to, according to the rules, use the Tribune now in order to get this out of the way because it will not be used anymore when I am the Rome console.
It's certainly created an interesting prospect, right? So you've played a Tribune, which technically was lawfully able to be played, which holds your ability to play a proposal at some point in the future. But now that you are actually the presiding magistrate, that point becomes moot. So I see what you're saying. But I think what ends up happening is it really that the Tribune now just gets discarded. So it was essentially wasted, for a lack of a better term, I think, because you ended up with the magistracy anyway. That's my current interpretation of the rule. Unless somebody wants to really challenge me on that, and certainly I'll have discussions before our next session with the experts as to, if we decide today that it is in fact lost, but if that was the wrong decision, then we'll be able to compensate you back that Tribune into your hand without any issue post effect. But for now, the decision will be that Tribune is lost, and right, as presiding magistrate, when the time comes, you'll get to make that proposal as normal anyway.
Okay, I will propose Cornelius Scipio Africanus as censor. And Marcus Decimus will be the first who votes. No,
I will place
I
my
made
12
a
votes.
mistake. I made a mistake now. Okay. What go? So we go there anyway. Okay.
I was placing my 12 votes for the proposal.
So next one is Quintus Octavius.
You're on mute if you're talking.
Next one is Quintus Octavius.
I shall abstain. I'll flip it once I finish typing.
Okay.
Next one is Cornelius Scipio, Africanus. Sorry, Tiberius. Okay.
Factions, make sure you
Mark,
announce your votes, please, when you put them out. Make sure you're not on mute when you do that.
Marcavedia is next.
I think we just lost Margaret Wedia. We'll give her a moment to reset.
So then, okay. Yeah, okay, I called her.
All right, we'll take a brief pause. Is she back? Is she still with us? You're on mute, Mark Wedia, if you want to unmute and cast your vote. Yeah, I think she's reconnecting. That's all right. So, for those just joining us or having a look on, we currently have a proposal on the floor from the presiding magistrate for a nomination of censor for Scipio Africanus from Tiberius Cornelius's Orange Corona faction there. And I think Mark Wedia is back with us. Is that correct?
Yes, sorry, it's a bit.
You're
laggy.
right. You're right. So it's your turn to. You've been called upon to vote on the current censor proposal. Make sure you announce your vote out loud.
6 for nay.
Now, Numerius Aurelius.
I'll vote 4 in favor.
Okay, myself is left, right? And
Mhm.
I will vote in with nay.
Interesting turn of events, right? But
Very.
we I think we can understand why. So the appears the vote has failed there.
Next proposal will be Furious will be nominated as candidate for the censorship. Furious will be nominated, and Marcus Decimus will vote first on this proposal.
I will abstain. Thank you very much.
Quintus Octavius will vote first. Next.
I shall abstain as well.
Numerius Aurelius is next.
I shall vote. Sorry, just a bit of lag. 4 votes nay. Oh, if I can drag it. Yep.
Tiberius will not vote next. Marcavedia will vote next. And myself will also, I will also vote with nay. Okay.
All right, another failed proposal. And with that second failed proposal, that will only leave us with one remaining candidate, because we can only pick from those senators with a prior consul marker. And if my eyes are correct, we've only got the 3 on the board. So that will leave an automatic censor election to Papirius from Mark Wedia's Red Aquila faction. So we will now have a new censor. Congratulations to Mark Wedia and Papirius on the election. So well, the automatic appointment. That's in baseball. I think they call it a walk. Is that right? A walk to first base. But please, Mark Wedia, if you'd like to increase the influence by Papirius by 5 for your new censor appointment. If you'd like to do that. It'll help if you zoom in a little bit closer so you can get your index finger on the number to increase the click. But I think if you also hover and just type your number over that as well, you can increase the value.
Oops.
I think it went to your hand, did it? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all right. Bring it back out. Take your time.
Sorry, Decimus, can I ask a quick question? Just out of
Yeah.
curiosity. Just before, when we were discussing who does what, like console grow, what happens if the consoles can't agree?
So there is a process for that, and I believe it's a dice off.
Oh,
Dice
okay,
off,
cool.
Yeah, there it is written in the rules. There is a process if they can't agree. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Just popped in my head, and I thought, I don't think that's come up before, really. So
yeah, and look,
hence why I
certainly
don't remember it.
in some very tight games, and I have seen some games where there's been a challenge between the respective consoles, and even a challenge between the consoles as to the appointment of a dictator or not. So it's gone to vote in the Senate, which changes things up certainly. So yeah, some interesting rules there for when there is contention.
Is it just roll at the same time? Whoever gets the highest, I imagine.
I think it's just whoever gets higher.
Just out
I
of
think it's as simple as that.
curiosity.
Yep. But yeah,
Yeah,
it is written in the rules explicitly what to do.
Could I just have a point of order real quick?
Yeah.
Just along with the Tribune card that was being played,
Yes.
other
Yep.
business is confirmed as after having the governorship. You can look
Cool.
that up in 1.09.6.
Perfect. That's agreeing to my current understanding. That's very good. Okay, good.
What was this about? I didn't got it. What?
It
was
was
the question about?
just confirming our current understanding on when other business occurs, which is after the governorship
Okay.
proposal set. Yep.
So congratulations, colleague Papirius, for your censorship, and I will hand over the Faschkes to you now, in order to. And I would like to see some prosecutions.
Parting words.
Oh. Okay, so where are we? I'm up to.
We're in Rome.
We're in Rome, number 5. Okay, so if resulted negative for the accused, and statements ABLX for exile before the thing. Okay.
That's good. For those watching along at home, the censor is now considering her options into what and how many types of prosecutions she may or may not run. There is only a certain amount that she can do. For example, she could do no prosecutions, for example, or she could do 1 minor prosecution, or she could do up to 2 minor prosecutions, or she could do 1 major prosecution in this turn. So that is, first of all, what she's considering, but she's no doubt looking at, who could make a prospective target for a prosecution, as well as perhaps willingness of prosecutors as well, which she will also need, if not coming from her own faction, to make a prosecution viable. So they are some of the things that the censor is currently thinking about right now.
I was just wondering as well too. So I remember, I think the major prosecutions, but when you do the minor prosecution, you still have to do the advocate and the defense as well too.
That is correct. Yep. So as per our advanced rules, it will have a prosecutor and an advocate, and they will add their respective oratory and dice rolls in the trial votes to the prosecution. That is correct.
Okay, so at this point in time, I will not be making any prosecutions.
Okay.
So everybody can remove their corrupt markers.
Hooray! I love that. You get the bonus points from today's session. You remembered to tell everybody to remove their corruption. Fantastic, because we often forget that, don't we, folks? So all the players now will hide the corrupt portion of their concessions. And they will also remove their corruption markers from the previous turn. So again, the next censor has decided no prosecutions at this point in time. So either the censors are feeling very friendly or there's lots of behind the scenes payoffs and deals being made. But we, as the audience, will probably never know. Certainly the Peanut Gallery is unimpressed. Boo is coming from the chat. Ah dear, sorry to disappoint poached trouts. It's all right. We'll get them going eventually. So at this point, the presiding magistrate will go back to the Rome console. He'll take back the Fuscus, and he'll be able to continue on with the last of his mandatory proposals as per the sequence.
So I take it that dictator cannot be proposed because we have no threat which is up.
That is a correct observation, and the opportunity is certainly come and gone. That's right. I mean, it was probably worth talking about at the time, but right, we did not meet the prerequisites for dictator this time round. So as you can see on the cheat sheet for those looking at it, we're now looking at sequence 6, which is governorship. So what we're about to hear from the presiding magistrate is proposals concerning the assignment of our new provinces, which was very exciting. So I'll hand now back over to Appius Rufius.
Okay. I will propose okay, I can leave it there. I will use the nomination markers.
Yeah, that's it. You can use colours to provinces and senators. That's right. Yeah, good.
For Sardinia and Corsica, I will propose Furious as the nominee to be sent to Sardinia and Corsica. And Furious will, Marcus Decimus will wait first on this issue.
I shall vote nay.
Numerius
votes.
Aurelius. Okay. Okay.
Sorry,
Numerius
was that called vote?
Aurelius will go next.
Yep. 4 votes in favour.
Quintus
just gonna-
Octavius will vote next.
Be abstaining.
Okay. Tiberius will vote next.
You're on mute, good sir.
Okay. Marca Vedia will vote next.
Apologies, I voted 11 in favour.
Perfect. I think Marco Weddy is just rejoining. We'll give her a moment to reconnect. There she is. She's back. Your turn to vote, Marco Weddia, on the current proposal.
Yes, Marca Vedia will vote next on the proposal to send Furious to the province of Sardinia and Corsica as governor.
Is Appius Rufius able to hear Marco Weddia?
I can't hear her.
Yeah, they were just talking across each other. So
Yeah. If you just want to,
I can't see her.
You can hear her now.
I can't see her. I can't see her.
If you want to
on the-
refresh your OBS, if you want to rejoin your Ninja, if you want to take an opportunity to do that and come back, we'll give the presiding magistrate an opportunity just to refresh his Ninja there. Yeah, I suspect there was a comms issue. That's all right. We'll do a quick refresh.
Let's see now.
There we go. You're back, presiding magistrate. Hello. And you just want to see Marco Weddy to say hello, see if we can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear now.
Good. All right. So currently some conversations happening mid-vote here, some questions being asked, which is okay. The presiding magistrate considering those.
Can you revert it? I do not understand what you mean.
So for those watching along at home or on our YouTube in the future, yes, the current proposal on the floor right now is to send Furious of Marcus Decimus's Purple Soulless faction off to one of our new provinces of Sardinia et Corsica, won in the First Punic War. Out there, and so far we've had about half the votes cast, and at the present time Marika Wedi is just asking some questions privately of the presiding magistrate before her vote is cast.
Can you write down why, Marka?
Lots of discussions happening in the background. The presiding magistrate entertaining the conversation at the moment. Of course, as we know from the rules, a presiding magistrate is certainly not obliged to have to listen to anybody during the course of a vote. But he appears to be entertaining the fact in this case, and that's up to his discretion. But for those who are unfamiliar with this game, or at least concerning proposals, for those watching along at home, essentially a faction that continues to either argue or question against the wishes of the presiding magistrate. Once a proposal has been sent to vote, a faction can end up abstaining from a vote essentially by force if they refuse to listen to the call of the presiding magistrate's call for vote, as is the power of the presiding magistrate. Now, the presiding magistrates don't have to enforce that. Certainly, we've seen, particularly in our group here, some are more happy to have discussions even mid-vote, but I think we only saw one instance maybe last year where we put the hammer down, or the gavel, so to speak, in discussions after a vote and somebody was forced to abstain. But it doesn't happen too often. I think most of the time people are willing to have a conversation. Is that conversation still occurring right now, is it?
Yeah.
That's okay. Take your time. We're not in a rush. I want you guys to be happy. Yeah, too. Yeah.
We have to.
Very good.
Marka, what I mean is, if someone is bringing back his money to the faction treasury, he can reassign it. Then he can cycle it back, so he can. So if he brings it to the faction treasury, it is immune to that what you are considering. Okay. Does this answer your concern, or?
Okay. The discussion's continuing in the background between the red Marika. That's okay. Like I said, we're not on the clock here. So conversation continuing between Marika Wedia and Appius Rufius as the presiding magistrate. Some questions being asked. It appears before she casts her vote, and the presiding magistrate is currently entertaining that conversation at the moment. And so we wait patiently for the outcome there to see which way Marika Wedia will cast her 6 votes for this first provincial proposal. So far that we've seen, Marcus Decimus has cast all 12 of his votes against the current proposal. Obviously, he's not keen to send Furious away just yet on a provincial posting, whilst we've so far seen Tiberius Cornelius and that of Numerius Aurelius are in favour of the proposal so far. And I think we've even seen Quintus Octavius abstaining. And we've actually seen a few abstains, I think, already so far from that faction. But I think that was pretty common we'd seen in previous games as well, is a willingness not to vote either way on some proposals. But perhaps he is not looking to anger maybe either way. But certainly there's probably strategy in abstention. We'll leave that to the players.
Veto. I'm going to use my veto power.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a change. A change, and he's actually going to use the Pontifex Maximus free veto that's there, which is pretty cool, and a good use of that tool. So we're actually going to I guess the point is moot for the current proposal, and noting that it's not a dictator's proposal, it's only a consul proposal that will veto the current proposal there, and as he has so done, has flipped his veto token down here. So we are now going to revert back, and people will take back their voting markers. So interesting to see that veto come out there, played by the Pontifex Maximus. So definitely against that proposal.
So, Marker, and if someone takes his money back to his faction treasury, then he could, with the help of the faction treasury, counter bribe any tried bribes by someone else.
That's sounding like a correct statement.
And then you can circumvent this, what you are considering, by this method.
I assumed.
Okay. Is this clear now, Marker, or do you have any further? Okay. Then we will start the next round of proposal here. Okay. Now I have to make 2 proposals, actually.
While you're working on that one, Tiberius Cornelius, I just saw your question to me about the interesting loyalty rating that's on your statesman card, and I think this is a great public learning opportunity. So I'm going to bring this up for everyone to have a look at home. So we can see on statesmen, and this is nearly the case on nearly every statesman card that will come out now and into the future, is you see 2 different loyalty ratings currently present on the card. You see in this case here for Scipio Africanus, we have a 7/0, and really that is a conditional loyalty. And what that means is that if Scipio Africanus, in this case, is in the same faction as Cato, ID number 22A, the loyalty rating of Scipio will be 0. If not, his loyalty is 7. So what that is telling us is Scipio does not like being in the same faction as Cato, a reflection on perhaps differing or opposing ideologies politically. So as we can see at the moment that Cato, another statesman card, is not presently in Tiberius Cornelius's faction. The loyalty rating of Scipio Africanus at the moment is 7. But for some reason, Cato, for whatever reason, comes into the faction of Tiberius Cornelius, and there's no restriction on that. It'll just mean that the loyalty rating for Scipio will be 0, I guess really making it easier for him to be persuaded away. Now, having said that, he'll still have his alignment bonus against his loyalty, so there's still that buffer there, but that is what that means. Does that answer your question, Tiberius Cornelius?
It does, thank you.
Perfect. Oh, sorry, presiding magistrate, back to you, Appius Rufius. Thanks for that.
Yeah, I'm involved in further.
Oh, we saw some cards go walkabout, did we?
Yeah, that was me. Sorry, I was clicking around and accidentally flung them.
Oh, okay.
So the problem is I can't read the card currently, but if I remember correctly, it is the case what I wrote to you.
Sorry, Quintus.
With the last.
Oh, good.
I don't know how that happened.
So I don't see how it would work out then. Yeah, but that's a conjecture, Marker. That's a conjecture. We don't know yet. Okay. Then we will proceed. So it will be again Furious for Corsica. And who will be nominated for Sicilia? That's the question now. Is there someone who would like to go there? Aurelius, would you like to go there, or because you only have 2 left in Rome? Let me know. What would you prefer? To stay there or not to stay there?
So
because you have only 2.
I just want to open this up for discussion as we're just finalising this proposal. So I note there is a difference in this new proposal versus the old one in that we're introducing the second province and a second candidate as a part of the proposal. My question is obviously, is it different enough from the first proposal, because we're renominating Furious again for the same province, but we just happen to be adding in additional detail with the other province in the
So
proposal.
I've just looked up the rules. If you're happy, I'll just read the
Sure.
province to continue the discussion. So this is 1.09.131. Proposal alterations. Defeated proposals may not be introduced again in the same Senate phase without significant change. Example, a proposal to...
Oh, okay. If you do another refresh, Marco Wedia. Yep. Carry on, please, Marcus Decimus.
Sure. Examples, a proposal to assign Furius 8 legions failed. A substitute proposal to assign 7 legions or Claudius 8 legions may be put forward. A proposal to send Furius to govern Hispania and Claudius to Sicilia might fail as a joint proposal, but may be proposed to send Furius to Hispania is legal. So if it's a joint one, but then the joint one failed, a singular one could be sent.
And that would be the same in opposite. So it sounds like this will be a legal proposal to continue. Okay, cool. I just wanted to check.
I'll just finish reading the last part. The proposal to nominate Florius and Curius as consuls fail. A subsequent proposal may nominate Claudius and Fabius as consul would be legal. Rewording the proposal is not enough.
Yeah, cool. All right, so this will be a legal proposal to see Furius renominated with the same province, but with the addition of the second province also being wrapped up in the same proposal. So it sounds like this will be a legal proposal. Thank you for your time, Rome Consul. I just wanted to clarify that. Sorry.
Okay. So it is a legal proposal, right? If I would,
it appears so. At least the example shows of a dual proposal failing. Then you could split it up and pull one of those proposals out.
So then I will come back to my question.
I guess the other question is because you've got a dual proposal that fails, and then you could try to see if one of the two was the issue. But do you have one that is an issue then being wrapped up into a two? Is it necessarily both ways in that ruling?
Valid to ask. I'm currently going with that is like I see your point that you're raising.
Yep.
I'm currently going that it is acceptable both ways. If something was joint, it can be proposed individually, and if something was individual, it can then be proposed jointly. And certainly, Poach Trout thinks it's also still legal. What's occurring here. I'm satisfied that this can continue for now. But good digging and good questions so far. Yeah.
So okay, Aurelius, you want to stay then, right?
I would prefer to stay at home.
So then, yeah. Okay, then I would like to see someone from the faction of Corona going to Sicily. Or let's ask Marka. Do you want to go to Sicily, by the way? But you have already...
and possibly get some spoils because I have no money.
But keep in mind, it would weaken your position in the Senate with the votes.
I don't have many votes to begin with. But I have to be called back then by whoever's in charge. And somebody else sent on another round.
Not in the same turn, but yes. You can be recalled early from your province in a subsequent Senate phase. Is that what you're alluding to?
How much money do you get going to the provinces? Yeah, I suppose. How much money do you get going to the provinces, or I can't remember.
If you want to take provincial spoils, if you look at the provincial spoils on the card, that will give you an indicator on the equations. So if you look up in the forum up there and have a zoom in on those, you can essentially see. So for Sardinia et Corsica, provincial spoils is 1d6 minus 5, so it's not very profitable for you as a governor. And although it's pretty good for Sicilia, that was the original bread belt for early Roman Republic. So Sicilia is a fairly rich province. You could end up to 6 additional talents if you're taking a bit off the top as a corrupt governor there.
Hmm. I mean, no one else wants to go.
No, I could find someone else. Corona, do you want to go, right?
Well, Scipius Africanus, who freed Sicily from the villainous scum that occupied it prior to the war. He would like to take a tour of victory there. Yeah, that'd be fine.
He would be interested to go to Sicily?
Sure.
Okay, then I will propose him. So, then we will vote on this issue. Marcus Decimus Meridius will be the first one.
I'll place my 12 votes against the proposal.
Okay. Numerius Aurelius is the next one.
That will be 4 votes in favour.
Quintus Octavius will be the next one.
I'm going to go against. 6 votes against.
Okay. Machiavellia will be the next one. Tiberius Cornelius will be the next one.
11 in favour.
Yeah, I'm in favor too, and we got it right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep, appears to have passed there. All right, so what we like to do is use our away from Rome markers, which is good, and I'll get the respective armoured up variants. I need to find one for Furious and Scipio, right? So let's go up here. There's Scipio. Which province was Scipio going to?
Sicily.
Sicily. So he's out there in the province now. Very good. So they both leave immediately, and I need to go find Furios, who's angry about going out there. Aemilius, Trentius, he'll be at the bottom.
He will be
though.
a capable proconsul as a governor there.
Corsica et Sardinia. There we go. So we've got both of our governors now out in the field. All right, let's reset this deck here. I like to have a tidy house, you see. Very good. I like these armor variants. I'm going to have to put the names on them so I can do the search functions on them like the other card decks. A job for me to do, perhaps. So good. I will see the away from Rome marker for Scipio and the away from Rome marker for Furious. Make sure, factions, please update your vote markers now that you've lost a senator from your factions away from Rome. So Tiberius Cornelius, update your faction vote there, and same for Marcus Decimus if you haven't already done so. Very good.
Everyone readjust their vote. Did readjust their votes, right? Okay.
It appears so. Good. Yep.
So now the business is open to other business,
Correct.
right?
That's it. Yep. It's your dog and pony show now. So yeah, all up to you.
So my first proposal is to strip the Pontifex Maximus of his office.
Cool. And what is the special rule that we need to know about in terms of stripping a Pontifex Maximus from his office? What about the vote do we need to consider?
2/3
it is
majority.
2/3.
Right. It has to be a 2/3 majority in favour for the vote to pass. That is correct, everybody. Well done.
I will call to vote Marcus Decimus first.
I'll place my 9 votes against the proposal.
I will call to vote Quintus Octavius next.
I will abstain.
I will call to vote Numerius Aurelius on this issue.
4 in
6 in
favour.
favour. Oh, sorry.
Oh, That's me.
I
That's
skipped
4.
my turn, didn't I? Sorry, Ingeniarius.
That's all right. 4 in favor.
Tiberius,
Yeah, 6 in favor.
Markavedia, please.
Does that mean that we're going to elect a new one?
Not until next Senate phase.
Next session.
Correct.
Next Senate session.
We've got 10 versus 9 versus 12 versus 16. So it doesn't matter which way I vote, does it?
Yeah, it
does.
absolutely does.
It does.
Yep.
It does.
It does.
Yes, it does. They are correct.
Really? Or did I just add it up wrong?
If you're not sure, you can abstain, obviously, but it's because it's a 2/3. It's not a majority.
It is.
Oh,
It is
okay,
at least
sorry, I
not
didn't hear that.
it is at least not irrelevant if you put it on the nay side.
Oh, yeah, I get you. And what power does the Pontifex Maximus have apart from the veto and the extra votes for war and the priests?
He gets
And
extra
higher
money, so that
in
it-
He
higher
gets
in
higher
income.
income.
Yeah,
Oh, the
and also
income.
Pontius Maximus. Also, if he doesn't have the 20 talents on him, if we get there's a bad omen, there's a whole bunch of negative effects.
If
so
who
you got-
doesn't have 20 talents?
The Pontius Maximus, if he doesn't have the 20 talents on him when a bad omen event card gets drawn, there's a bunch of negative effects. So the income does balance out a little bit.
But then, what's Numerius Aurelius has said? What happens if we don't have a Pontifex Maximus?
That's just a point of order. It's not necessarily like a put that into consideration for your vote. I just was curious how the game worked.
I guess it would automatically occur.
It is the
imagine.
state treasury
It would
which
be
has to
taken
pay
from
them.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't encountered that before. If we don't have a Pontifex Maximus when a bad omen is drawn, yeah, right. I think I haven't read it, but it sounds like the state would fully have to pay that debt.
Yeah, state.
believe it
As
is the
always,
state.
the state has to pay the debts of the others.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty typical in the rule set, isn't it? Yeah.
Hmm.
Are we waiting on somebody
Yeah.
presiding magistrate?
No.
On marker, yeah.
I understand. It's the money. That's everyone's.
Okay. Then I will vote yay,
sin.
and it passes, right?
Yes.
Let's double check. So what are our total votes available?
It was 37, I thought, which required 24 at least to pass.
I believe it is 27 as well.
I had 37
Well, okay.
Oh, sorry, 37, yes.
and required 24 point something, so 24, I guess.
There's the calculator. Can we drag the calculator? We can.
Yep.
So,
Turn it
so
on.
What we got?
You have to turn it on
Yep.
first, I think. There you go.
Oh, yeah, I see. So what we got? 9.
Are the
25
abstained votes?
I imagine
Are
the abstained votes
deducted?
don't count, right?
So
total.
it has to be in favour. So abstains is essentially almost like voting against it. It has to be in favour, 2/3 in favour of the total
In
votes in
favour.
order for it to pass.
And
Okay.
the
So
abstain votes
it
are
does count.
taken out. Yeah, the abstain votes are the abstain votes you don't are concerned with the abstain votes.
Yeah,
You
they're
don't
not
take
counted,
the
surely.
majority of the whole Senate because he abstained, as if he wouldn't be there.
Yeah,
and
so
then
it should be
it's only
2/3 majority of the cast votes.
Yeah, of the cast votes, but abstain is not a cast vote.
That's right.
All right. So total voting is 31. So if we go point clear, so we just do 31 times
22 out of 31.
0.66.
26.
So 21 would be a pass. So
Which
it
you do
is
by 1.
22. Yeah.
So long as you guys are all happy that is the interpretation, I'm satisfied to go forwards with that, as it has in fact passed. I mean, I interpret slightly differently about abstain votes, the process. But no, that's fine. If you're all happy, then I too am a happy man. So it appears that the proposal has just passed by the skin of its teeth, and the Pontifex Maximus is no more.
Per rule. All right. So per rule, just to point of order. Sorry. It is 2/3 of majority of votes cast, so it has to be a cast vote.
And I guess I interpreted abstained votes as actually a form of casted vote, but that's fine. So can we make sure that the old Pontifex Maximus deducts 5 influence from his senator, please? Very good. And all right, now I think that's squared away. Yeah, cool. All right, yeah, back to the presiding magistrate.
So, okay. At any time we can assign also Egyptian grain, right?
That is correct.
Yeah,
As,
it's a concession, right? Yeah.
A concession, right?
Yeah, cool. Egyptian
And,
grain, yeah.
So
Sorry.
Corona faction got already Sicily, right? But Machiavelli has
more.
no
I don't
income,
mind.
right? I guess so. So then, would one of your senators be interested in Egyptian grain? Machiavelli?
Yes, they would be. How about Aurelius?
Aurelius, okay. Then I will propose that Aurelius gets the Egyptian grain. And I will start with Marcus Decimus.
I'll abstain.
Okay. Concerning the question of the concession going to, who is it? Aurelius? Quintus Octavius. What is your vote on this issue?
I shall abstain.
Numerus Aurelius, what is your vote on this issue?
It's 4 votes in favor.
Tiberius, Cornelius, what is your vote on this issue?
6 in favor.
Machiavelli?
6 in favor.
Okay, I'm in favor too. Then it passes.
Me too.
Nice.
Do we want to move the governorship cards out of
yeah,
the
let's
forum?
put them out.
Yeah, it's better, right?
Yeah.
There we go. Nice.
Am I correct in assuming that we have dealt out everything which we could deal out?
I believe you are correct. Yep, we have dealt everything that we
excuse me,
need to
2
deal. Yeah.
seconds.
Yeah. Then we
So,
could. Yeah. Was there a question, Quintus?
talk about war. No,
Yeah.
I'm just confirming. So that was in favor. It was the Aquila, Corona, Luna, and I believe it was Palmer. That was correct?
Correct.
Palmer, correct. Yeah.
Thank you.
So we will now focus on our attention on the wars, right?
Sounds good.
We
Just
would-
a quick point that I think, like last session, I think we will conclude today's session at the end of the Senate phase again. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So both wars would need a fleet support of 2 fleets each, right? So we would
One requires 4, one requires 2.
I
wait.
mean the fleet
No,
support.
Sorry, I was reading that wrong. Yeah, fleet support.
Yeah.
Fleet is 2.
So at
Just-
minimum we need 4 more fleets, but if you want to be a little bit more,
Can I just raise a quick point, if that's all right?
Yes,
Don't forget the
yes.
manpower shortage is all. Does everything
yeah.
cost too? Just before we start thinking about how many we want to raise, just keep in mind that it costs twice as much.
okay, yes, that's true.
A good point is we have 45 talents and only prosecute one of them.
So if he would raise the minimum, we would have to pay. How much does the fleet cost again? What was it?
20 at the moment.
Okay, at the moment 20. So we would have to,
Right.
if we would raise all fleets necessary, it would cost 80, right? Oh, there is something happening here. Over here. What is happening?
Assassination.
Oh, really?
Attempt. Okay. Then I have to yield
okay.
to the
So,
moderator.
So who's actually wielding the blade?
Oh, that would be our lovely Fabius again.
Fabius. Let me double
Hello,
check.
Fabius.
Yes, Fabius is the assassin, right, coming from Quintus Octavius's Green faction, and there's an assassination attempt on Aurelius of the Martica Wedia's faction here. We've seen a play of a card already. It is the secret bodyguard card. I'm going to bring this up for everybody to have a look at playing at home. It says playable after any assassination
I'm
attempt.
so ready for this prosecution.
Resolution on one of your senators to reduce the result by 1, and it'll be discarded after use. And there's additional notes here that talks about if the assassin is not caught, then regardless of the original result, an additional roll must be made per bodyguard played just to try and catch the assassin. The rerolls, so it's a little bit harder for our would-be assassin here. So it is a 1d6. I'm going to go up to the table here. A 1d6 by our assassin, and we reduce the result by 1 after that roll. So, assassin, when you're ready, if you'd like to make your roll.
I'm so ready to go to court. Nope, he's dead.
He is very much caught. So we can remove the blade from the field. The senator will live.
Is he die? Did he die?
Very,
or
very much so. So a court assassin is killed. That's number 1. So if you'd like to clear Fabius's markers from his card and place Fabius in the Curia, he will join our good friend Sulpicius over there. So yes, that is a rule. A court assassin is killed. So those markers will be. It's all right. I can get rid of those later. That's fine. So he's. It appears the luck for Quintus Octavius has perhaps run out, at least for now. Martica Wedia will be pleased that Aurelius has survived.
Maybe it's all the plan.
There we go. Off Fabius goes. And now we have a special major prosecution of the faction leader, which now occurs right now in the middle of our Senate session.
I will take over this prosecution, right? Because
the censor will. hang on, there's cards being thrown around everywhere. What's going on there? Yeah, but let's leave it there for the moment. So, yeah, the faction leader, Julius, is now the subject of a special major prosecution run by the censor.
I guess not. It is a presiding magistrate in this case because it is a special prosecution.
Only if there's a censor not available.
That's true.
But yeah, happy for you to check the rule set and that. If somebody wants to look at the rule book, but that's currently what I've got on my my sheet here. Yes, in fact, I just recall looking at it before. So if we go to the section on special major prosecutions, which is in the Senate phase, I think I might have gone too far. Let's go back. Censors, popular appeal, and in this case here, the faction leader must use a popular appeal as well. But instead, the modification is not his own popularity; is in fact the popularity of the target senator, which in this case is going to be there's going to be no change. It's going to be 0 in terms of the popular appeal process. So we'll start doing the sums in just a moment. I just do want
Can you point me please to the rule?
Yeah, certainly. So I just want to find. Now this is not vetoable either, folks. I just want to put that out there.
Nope.
I just want to find the special major prosecutions rule. Where is it? Who's going to find it first?
Quintus Octavius, how many cards do you have in your hand? Is it 2 or 1?
That's a great question. Shall be answered when they are ready to be used.
1941. Prosecutions up here.
You're correct. I found it in 1.09.74.
Here's 2 marker.
Oh, 7-4?
Okay.
Public
Yeah, I was
knowledge.
just struggling because one thing looks black and there's something else which is.
Yeah, that
coloured.
means he's looking at 1. So
Okay.
it's flipped upwards. And then one's
Here we go.
flipped downward.
Court, here it is. Yeah, 1974. Yeah, go. Court assassin is killed. In addition, his faction leader loses 5 influence if he's in Rome and is subject to an immediate special major prosecution. So let's deduct the 5 influence from Julius first, which will just go down to 0 in this case. Good. So we've hit that first step. And now we're going to conduct a special major prosecution where he will be making a popular appeal, and we've talked about the popularity modifiers there. We'll talk about that. The censor is the presiding magistrate for the prosecution, even if he is the accused faction leader, which is quite fascinating. So from here, so let's go to the sum. So we've got our sheet. Do we actually have a tool for this? No, we don't have a tool for prosecution, but that's okay. We've got our sum over here. So there are no advocates and prosecutors as a part of a special prosecution trial, so we don't need to worry about the trial votes as a part of this process. So the popular appeal will occur on the turn of the now dead assassin's faction, in this case Quintus Octavius. So when Quintus Octavius is called to vote, the process for the popular appeal will occur at that time, and any modifications will then be added or subtracted also to the current vote tally as well. So I'm also going to keep some notes off screen if others want to do the same. You're voting for prosecution or against the prosecution, so make that nice and clear when the censor calls upon you to cast your vote. To make sure that is clear in our calculations. Right now, the influence is still accounted for of the accused as well. So let's work that out. What is the influence is now 0, so there's no effect there of our accused. So really,
Nope.
the outcome is determined by the Senate vote plus the popular appeal process. Okay, is everybody happy with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Senate vote plus or minus the popular appeal table when we get to that point. So, censor, this is now your trial to run where you get to call upon factions in the order of your choosing. Salway to Imam66, who's joining us for the first time in chat. Salway, thank you for joining us in this episode 2 of the Republic of Broad Game broadcast. So, yes, sorry, censor, this is your trial. If you wanted to say some words, you may also do so.
I would like to say some words, actually. So,
Yes.
First of all, I was going to say that in difficult times, there are many things that happen in life, and I hope that we look at things with, forgiveness for actions, but we also hope that people do not make mistakes again. And so with that in mind, I would like to call upon people to place their votes, given the fact that we have already, seen great suffering in Quintus's faction already. Can I hear from Tiberius Cornelius, please, to cast your votes?
6 guilty.
Okay, and then the Appius, Rufius?
Guilty for sure. Yeah.
Quintus Octavius?
All right, so
We can't vote.
he will get to cast his vote, but we also do the popular appeal as well. So if we the popular appeal table is over here.
Okay.
So this is where we're going to end up going. So what's going to occur here is it's a die roll, right, folks? And then we have a look at that. You can see the popular appeal result will change here. So it's a 2d6 plus the popularity in this case of the defendant, the victim of the prosecution, but his popularity is 0. So it's really just the 2d6 die roll here. So fingers crossed for him. So he rolls his 2d6. He gets a total of 8, which adds plus 4 votes in favour of the accused. So that's 4 votes against the proposal. Okay. Now, just to confirm, does he get to also additionally cast his faction votes? I don't think so, because he's got his influence, which is 0 in this case anyway, plus his the popular appeal. So no doubt
believe I do.
I don't think. Yeah, just confirm for me, folks. I don't think his faction votes actually count in this case.
And if he's
Yeah,
guilty, what's the
I
result?
thought the appeal took place of the votes, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that was my understanding as well.
That's what I
well,
thought.
Let us
Trout-
confirm this. I am not sure.
Yeah. Poach Trout believes that he can still cast his normal votes in addition to the popular appeal. So in this
That's
case,
Trout no better than me.
Quintus Octavius,
What?
if you like, I trust Poach Trout there. He's pretty switched on with the rule set. Appeal does not replace the votes; they are in addition to normal votes. Okay, so yes, Quintus Octavius may cast his 6 votes.
Okay, calling on Quintus Octavius to cast his votes. And I also wanted to confirm, if he does get convicted, what happens?
This is a major prosecution, so if it passes, he'll die.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a special major prosecution, yep.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to vote against it. Yep.
6 obviously in favor, definitely.
Okay.
Cancer, it's up to you to call the next vote.
Oh, yes. So I call upon Numerius Aurelius to cast his votes.
So, as of voting, I'd just like to remember that death has been visited on some factions against their choice. So perhaps we should weigh other deliberate choices in whether they
None
deserve
of you
death.
know that
And that's
was
4
me,
votes in favour. Thank you.
We remember what happened last time, right?
Yeah.
We
I
remember.
mean, if you want to go into logistics, you don't know what it was
I'm
meant.
talking as a not as a player, not a player character.
Mhm.
Okay, now I call also upon Marcus Decimus as well too to cast his votes.
I'll place my 9 votes in favour. The guilty party is clear in this case. There's no arguing it.
Okay.
I note though that he didn't have the dignity nor honour to convict himself.
I am going to abstain.
Okay. So based on my tallies and based on what you guys are seeing in front of you, so the total votes for innocent is 10. The total votes for guilty is 25. So in this case, by my numbers and calculations, the defendant of the special major prosecution, Julius, is found guilty and is sentenced to death. Now,
May he rot in hell.
Who carries out the execution?
Now, interestingly here, and
Formidably
Poach
cute.
Trout raised this for us, is that in this is the only instance where a faction leader dies and will go to the Curia. So he does not get to keep him with the special defense that faction leader normally provides to a senator. So we will also now see Julius go to the Curia. So this is the only case this happens when a faction leader dies, is under a special major prosecution, thus making it special. So Quintus Octavius will also now lose Julius.
Is this one of those
Big
times
facts.
where we say, "Oh no, I'm facing the consequences of my own actions"?
Perhaps.
No.
The concession will
Hey.
also head to the forum.
What type of shoes did they wear back then? Are they sandals? The sandals on the other
Sometimes
foot.
Caligai, sometimes some other knitted stuff. Yeah.
Caligar's on the other foot, I guess.
So we'll help Quintus Octavius out here. We'll put the concession in the forum. If somebody wants to take Julius to the Curia, please.
Everybody's made bad decisions sometimes, you know. Just, you know.
Oh, it's going to get worse.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but it was twice right now. The second time. I could understand if it would have been the first time.
What do you mean? Nothing happened. What are you talking about the first time?
All right. So if everybody
There are
wants,
rumors.
everybody just double check your faction vote counters are now updated accordingly. If something has changed for you. And we see the respective assassination target and instigator tokens now at the front of those respective factions, showing that they can no longer either initiate or be the subject of an assassination now. So they have defenses or limitations accordingly going forwards. I think that's it. Now the presiding magistrate can now go back to the Rome console. Thank you, Censor, for running that trial.
Yeah, thank you, Sensor. Could you hand over my fascists now? Thank you. Okay. So this changes the situation in the Senate again, because we can reintroduce other business before we go to the war, because we have another concession. I do propose that the concession goes to Manlius, and this concession will be granted to Manlius. Marcus Decimus, how do you vote on this issue? Quintus Octavius? Quintus Octavius, how do you vote on this issue?
Sorry, what's being proposed? I'm just writing down.
Okay. Maybe I should have made it another way. Let's put it back to the forum, and then I will place nominee Marcus. It's better.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's the better one.
That's really good.
Yeah, it's better. So I propose that the tax farmer concession, so the concession to tax goes to the gens of Manlius, and I called upon you to vote on this issue, Quintus Octavius.
Shall we abstain?
You shall abstain. Markavedia, how do you vote on this issue?
Oh.
Make sure you announce it when you place it.
6 votes in favour.
Thank you.
Okay. Tiberius Cornelius, how do you vote on this issue?
6 in favour.
Okay. And Aurelius, how do you vote on this issue?
I will abstain.
Okay, I will vote yay. Okay.
All right. New concession. I've never seen that before. A concession goes to the forum and then immediately comes back at it, and you don't see that very often. It's only because of that special major prosecution, right? That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, we are ready for considering our war efforts. So we would need 80 talents in order to, we would need to spend 80 talents in order to get those 4 fleets, in order to prosecute both wars, right? And we would have enough forces in order to prosecute both, or not? With the legions and the veterans?
Well, what's the plus we need? Like how
Yeah,
many?
we would have to
We
take
will
out.
need.
What's the average?
There is
kind of
not enough
plus?
troops.
No.
You're
We could
looking
take
at
out
about
the
+11.
combat calculator, right?
So it's 1.
So we would have to send the field consul first. Which war does he want to prosecute, by the way, the field consul?
Well,
I guess the second Illyrian, right?
Yeah, I was going to say it's a low military, so probably the weaker of the two would be better, and whoever we send on the other one should have a higher to maximize the combat results.
So how many units, legions do we have?
We have 17.
17.
Strength.
I'm just curious, why would you want to pursue both if the Second Illyrian War will only give us 10 and we'll just have to fight the first one and not get any money, when we can risk having the war out for a little bit longer to see if we can get the first one and get more money out of both of them?
That's true.
That's a good point, yeah.
It'd be nice
That's
to
a
know
valid
what
point.
the strength of the first Illyrian War was.
Does any sages know that by chance?
Unlikely. The gods do not favour that
I think
question.
it was 8. I believe it was 8.
Which is still enough as long as we beat this other one. there's the
Okay,
Archivist
then I would-
pulling out the.
I still have some
scrolls.
ancient scripts from my past job.
Sorry. Sorry for dropping it. Then I would propose another idea. We could prosecute only the Syrian war, as was mentioned, because it brings a lot of money in. We would have the risk that we would fail the other war. But then I would advise that we maybe should let the HRAO, the Rome Council, propose land bills with the help of maybe the field consul, I don't know, in order to get the risk of we are now currently at an unrest of 6,
Oh,
and we will
Marcus,
get
Nicomas,
for
stop
sure
it.
another unrest.
Yep.
And
Well,
then
we
we would
finally
have to
win.
roll in the state phase, right? In order to
Yeah, we should
get a
definitely
good state
consider. Yeah, we should definitely consider the unrest level. That did shoot up quite quickly.
yes. If we do not deal now,
It could
it will
only
be problematic.
compound on itself. Yeah.
Yeah, true. Unrest.
The people are upset of losing their religious leaders.
So I asked my colleague, the field consul, what do you think of this proposal that we would only send you as field consul to prosecute the Syrian war?
Yeah, I think that seems pretty reasonable, especially considering we can get some money from further wars, and they're still pretty weak. So.
Yeah, but you
can,
would also be okay that we would propose land laws, right?
Yep, that's fine.
Okay, then I will do this. You can go. I propose you to go to the war in Syria, and you help me getting some land bills through, right? In order to.
So we have to propose the fleets, right? We can't send me before we.
We can propose the land bills now, and I want to do it now before you leave.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I thought you were going to do it the other way. Yep, that's fine.
Okay. Which one do we propose actually now? That's the question here, right?
10, 5, 3.
So we would only need to raise the fleets, right? But we could send you with a little bit more fleets in order to make sure that the war wouldn't be unprosecuted in the event that you would lose some fleets.
Just
it
a
won't
FYI,
happen, right?
whoever's done the stats for the combat calculator, apparently it's set for the Second Illyrian and not the Syrian war right now.
That should be 1 for my.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Thank you, Poach Trout.
Let me see. What is the effect if one isn't? The unrest would go down
by 1, 2, or 3.
Well, I think if we
get a victory in the war, we knock it down by 1 anyway.
Yeah. So maybe 2 is good here because that'll.
2 is good, right?
Yeah.
Is there another way that we can address the unrest level? Can't games do
so
it
you
as
can
well?
have games, yeah. So,
Games next turn.
Obviously, I guess that's something for people to keep in mind, or.
Yeah. We should also be careful in considering a level 2 or a level 3 will be set in for an unlimited term. Perhaps the plebeians will get used to such a thing and be upset if we try to repeal. So if we only do a level 1, which is a fixed cost, reduce the unrest by 1, and then maybe
by nothing. Maybe there's an error. Here occurred an error, maybe, because there is nothing. But that can't be the way.
No, because a level 1, the state
That's on the
pays
repeal.
20, reduces the unrest, and because it's only a 1-term, 1 payment thing,
Correct.
you don't have to repeal it.
Okay, yeah. Unrest minus. Yeah, okay, that's true. But we would have to pay now upfront, right?
Yes, you'll be an
along
upfront.
with fleets.
I kind of do like the idea of -2 because we're at +6, which is a bit scary.
It's high.
Now, just remember, you only pay for things in the revenue phase, right? So if you instigate a land bill now, it won't get paid till the revenue phase.
Yeah, as long as we win, we're going to get 45, which obviously is not guaranteed, but still,
How much are games? Where's the games?
So I think it's like 7 for the first level, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
It's 7.
Sponsoring games, 7.
13,
For minus
18.
run, 13. Yeah.
So field consul. Shall we propose a land bill number 2?
Yeah, I think that sounds good to me.
Okay. Then I propose that we will.
There has to be a sponsor, right, and a co-sponsor.
Yeah,
Yes.
is there a token for this, Decimus?
Yeah, we can make it here with the
there it is. Yeah, I
sponsor
see
and
it.
co-sponsor.
Yep, cool. I see it. Yep.
No, he means the tokens for sponsor and co-sponsor or not.
Yeah.
I will be the sponsor. Emilius will be the sponsor of this bill. And who of your guys want to be the co-sponsor? Aurelius.
I guess I shall make it Manlius. Sounds fine to me.
So I will bring this to the table, to the floor. And Marcus Decimus, how do you vote on this issue?
I'll vote 9 votes in favor for the proposal.
Quintus Octavius, how do you vote on this issue?
One vote in favor.
Lest we hear the jeering from the plebeians.
We shall tame them for a
Tiberius Cornelius, how do you vote on this issue?
6 in favor.
Machiavellia, how do you vote on this issue? And
6 in
Aurelius,
favor.
my colleague. Okay, thank you.
That'll be 4. No, I'm joking. Yeah.
Oh man. Okay.
Surely,
I vote Jay.
surely popularity can't go into the negative.
Just teasing the pledge, guys. It's all right.
It can. Let me tell you, high school.
All right. That appears to have passed then, I think. We now have a Type 2 land bill, and that cost will be deducted later in the revenue phase. Make sure the sponsors and co-sponsors receive their appropriate amount of popularity for a Type 2 land bill as per the table. So
I will
in this
reduce
case,
the rest.
it'll be 2 for the sponsor and 1 for the co-sponsor.
Yep. I've reduced our unrest by 2, giving us a total of 4.
Very good.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Great. Then we shall proceed, right? So it is so everyone agrees that our unrest level is such that we can handle it in the next game.
It's at least a little better.
Yeah, I mean,
Or shall we-
especially considering if we win, that's another -1 just to remember,
Yes.
which hopefully we should.
But keep in mind that we will get the other one for sure because we will not prosecute it.
Yep.
Then it will be back to 4.
Yeah.
Just roll good.
That's the question.
Very
right?
simple. Just roll some good.
Okay. Let's get to the combat calculator. Did you calculate now anything you wanted to calculate with your war in Syria?
So, just trying to think. So, how many forces we have? We've got 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So, we have 18 forces, right? So,
We have 17. 8.
is it with the veteran? Is it?
You could take the veteran, but a veteran does
17.
not count as 2, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so leave that behind.
Oh yeah, the veteran
So-
counts as 2.
So put that to 16. So I mean that's a 92% chance if we take them. And it just depends whether you want to raise 4
And that's
fleets.
a
I guess.
guaranteed victory unless you roll negative.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously the 15 and 16 are quite high on the probability distribution as well. But I guess the question is, do we want to send 4 fleets to guarantee that those forces stay behind in case we fail, or do we just want to send 2?
Yeah, in other words, mitigating against an unprosecuted war should you
Yeah.
not have sufficient fleet support. That's good.
I would be in favor to send more fleets.
So
I think
Yeah.
it's nearly worth it just to ensure that we don't gain unrest from the unprosecuted war. Nearly that alone.
Yeah, because if we do not send those more fleets, if we do not send more fleets, then I would favor another proposal of land bills because then it is sketchy, right?
Yeah,
Is
good.
it, so how much is it for an unprosecuted war? Is it 10 or 20?
20. Same
Ah,
as a
so we
normal
may as well
active war.
send it. We may as well send it because it's only one extra cost in a way. because we have to raise 2 fleets to make sure it's prosecuted afterwards, and
also
obviously
our
lose
unrest
20 didn't-
calculation goes from evening out to just
Yeah,
being
to +1,
remaining
yeah.
4, going
Yeah.
back to plus 6 for
so-
in the roll to occur.
Yeah, so I'd say
that's cool.
raising four fleets sounds pretty good, and then sending the 16 forces to make sure that we win, hopefully.
Then, if you would be okay with that, I bring this proposal to the table now, to the floor of the Senate, and I would ask Marcos Decimus to vote on this issue.
Can I just confirm the proposal again? Thank you.
It is we will bring 16 legions. Oh no, sorry,
Yes.
my fault. We would have to propose first to raise those 4 fleets.
Good. Thank you.
That's correction there. Okay, I will bring to the Senate floor the proposal to raise 4 fleets.
I would be in agreement with such a proposal. 9 votes.
Okay, thank you. Quintus Octavius, how do you vote on this issue?
What war are you going to put it for?
We don't know. That is to the Senate to decide.
I'll put my 1 vote against.
Machiavellia is the next.
6 votes in favor.
Okay. Tiberius Cornelius.
6 votes in favor.
Thank you. And Aurelius.
That's 4 votes in favor. Thank you.
Yeah, 6 votes in favor from me too. Okay. So
right,
we
proposal
raise 6
passed.
fleets.
4 fleets.
And presiding magistrate, just make sure you nominate someone to update the faction. State treasury as well.
Yeah. Quintus Octavius, please update. You are the quaestor now. Please
He's
handle
been doing a good job.
Yeah. Quintus Octavius will handle our state treasury. But no embezzlement. No embezzlement.
Are you sure?
Hey, sure.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
sure.
no embezzlement yet. I like this.
Okay.
Did they have embezzlement back then?
There's always been embezzlement.
So
That's the Roman term for it. It's the Latin term for it. Corruption, I guess.
my next proposal is to send our field consul Junius with 4 fleets and 16 legions to prosecute the Syrian war and keep those Greeks in check. Okay.
Can I just get a point of clarification from the Rome consul? Can I just confirm
Yes.
we'll keep
Yes,
the
Marcus
veteran
Decimus?
we'll keep the veteran troop at home?
Yes, this is confirmed. Correct, field consul?
I don't know if there's I guess who states that, right, in a proposal. I mean, I'm not going to bring it, so I guess if it's up to me, then yes, of course, he's certainly staying home.
Okay, maybe I will restate the proposal.
Yeah.
Good.
We will bring 16 legions
Excluding.
and 4 fleets without the veteran legions
Yeah,
to prosecute the war.
Perfect.
So, Marcus Decimus, what is
I'll
your vote
place-
on this issue?
I'll go 9 votes in favor.
Okay, Quintus Octavius, how do you vote on this issue?
I'll vote 1 in favor. And to clarify, which war are we sending it to as the scribe?
Yeah,
Syria.
it is Syrian, in order to give the Greeks some.
Something to think about. Give him a good old hard time, you know?
Yeah.
Yes. So, Tiberius Cornelius, how do you vote on this issue?
6 votes emphatically in favor.
Machiavellia,
6 in favor.
thank you. And Aurelius, Numerius Aurelius. Yeah.
That's 4 votes in favor of clicking those barbarians down.
Yeah. And I vote 6 in favor too. And this should. So, I have no further occasion to detain you, fathers of the Republic.
Yep. So
Right.
the field consul would leave the Senate at this stage.
Yes, correct. I'm looking for his card as we speak. Junius?
Yes. I believe that's fine. Yep.
Junius. And it's the Syrian war we're prosecuting, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. All right. If somebody wants to move the forces respectively up that way. Look at that orderly marching column. That's great.
They're very orderly.
Very orderly. Look at that. Good drills.
Very Roman. Very Roman.
Decimus, just while I'm thinking about it, we're just going to use the yellow marker to represent the local taxes for the provinces.
I'm not sure I follow. Are you talking about when for provincial?
Yeah, the provincial local taxes, the ones we use for raising provincial forces.
Yeah, so the calculator will remind you of what your provincial forces are that you get to spend as governor, and then you'll obviously get to use up that point at the time of during the revenue phase as to whether you're raising forces or not. Because remember, that doesn't accumulate. You only get to spend at that turn. Yep.
Roger.
All right, that's done. The field console's deployed. Cool. All right, back to your Senate Rome console.
Yeah, I thought that it would end the session. No, it does not
only ends if the
automatically end the
HRAO
session.
leaves, which it hasn't in
Okay.
this case.
You're correct. You're correct. So I do not see that any further business is required at this point. Am I in agreement with my colleague? Field
As you send a messenger off to follow Zabi.
Sorry, I was on mute, but yeah, I think that sounds pretty reasonable to me.
Okay.
On mute. I thought you were on campaign.
Is the censor in agreement with this that
Yes.
we have now seen? Actually?
Correct.
And what is with Tiberius Cornelius?
I'm satisfied. Thank you.
Okay. Marcus Decimus, do you have anything else?
No other business at this stage, thank you.
Okay. Then I will do not further trouble you, my fellow senators, and you are free to leave the Senate session.
That sounds like a close to the Senate session if I've ever heard one, and that will also bring a draw to our episode 2 of our Republic of Rome board game broadcast for this week. So we'll do a wrap up there. That was a big marathon session there today, so I won't hold the senators back further. For those watching live or on YouTube, hang around. I'm going to dismiss my senators in the background, and then I'm going to return and do my end of session recap that I like to do. There's certainly lots to talk about today, so stick around. We'll take a minute or two, and then we'll be right back. Don't go away. All right, and we are back at the end of episode 2. Wow, big session today. That was a long session, but hats off to our senators who endured, because noting it's getting later in the evening here. It's now 10:30 p.m. Local time on the east coast of Australia. Appius Rufius will be all right. He'll be looking to have some lunch probably if he hasn't already had it. So he'll probably be ducking off to have a bite to eat, or maybe even afternoon tea now. It's certainly ticked on. But nonetheless, let's talk about our very interesting session today. We saw a bit of money change hands and some failed persuasion attempts. There was another dig at Achilles in the forum there. He now is sitting on a comfortable 10 talents after another unlucky persuasion attempt that didn't go ahead there. I think there was perhaps a miscount considering the existing talents that was already on his card, but nonetheless, it turned out the way it did. And then we saw, I think it was Appius Furious attempted a persuasion attempt on Senator Furious from Marcus Decimus's purple faction there, and we actually did see a counter bribe coming on that as well, which unfortunately dropped that likelihood of a successful roll there. So now Furious is sitting on a whopping 18 talents, and Marcus Decimus is going, thanks very much for that. So it'll be interesting to see how he'll employ that money going forward to the next revenue phase. Maybe he might look to get some kudos from his fellow senators, maybe spend it on some games, sponsoring some games rather. We will see, or he might stock that away. So that'll be interesting to watch what he will do with that money. So he's probably sitting in a pretty comfortable position there, although we do note the other major factor there is he was stripped of his Pontifex Maximus in a vote that just passed in that 2/3 majority. A very slim very slim majority, but nonetheless a pass. He lost his Pontifex Maximus. Whether he's upset about that, I don't know. It remains to be seen, but a new one will potentially come in. Who knows? He could very well end up back with it again, depending on where the proposals come from going forwards. And then, of course, the big note, which was some massive changes, the death of 2 senators due to legal prosecutions. Quintus Octavius thought he'd give the blade another wield. His target this time, I think, was Aurelius in Mark Aurelius' Aquilus Red faction there, and that one he was very easily caught. Looks like there was a secret bodyguard played there, so that was probably well played by Mark Aurelius, and even then the role was not favourable in this time by Fabius, the wielding senator. And so he was instantly killed, and then the special major prosecution of his faction leader, Quintus Octavius' faction leader, went to trial, and there was a very comfortable vote in favour of his guilt. And in this rare instance as well, we saw the faction leader also sentenced to death. Not the outcome that I think Quintus Octavius was hoping for. So he's been reduced back to Terentius with 1 measly vote at the moment. So he's lost a little bit of the power that he's had in the faction there, but nonetheless he's not out. It's certainly not over. And if we continue to lose senators for whatever reason, then perhaps he's the first candidate to get a free senator later on from the Curia if we get to that 8 or less senators in Rome value. So we'll have to keep an eye on that, particularly as we start sending senators away to war and to governorship provinces. If that happens, then Quintus Octavius could get a bonus senator back, which he will be very thankful for. So now Numerius Aurelius is not the lowest faction on the field. Numerius Aurelius is now the 2nd lowest, so he'll be happy about that. So yes, it'll be interesting to watch the comeback of Quintus Octavius in the sessions to come there. No prosecutions, normal prosecutions during the censors' reign early on in the Senate phase there. So that's 2 turns now that we haven't seen the censors willing to prosecute anyone for whatever reason. There's certainly a lot of wheeling and dealing that happens in the back of this game and during the course of the week between sessions that we're not necessarily privy to, and I'm not necessarily privy to as the facilitator, but perhaps all part of the excitement. And certainly one of the things I like to do is speak to the players after we've finished an entire game and talk about the alliances and the relationships that they form in the background and where that all goes. So yes, end of episode 2, very interesting session there. Sad that we're not going to play next Monday. We're postponing, so we're not going to play for. You won't see us in this game for 2 weeks. So we're taking a break next week, next Monday. So you won't get to see this game, unfortunately. Yes, I know, very very sad, very upsetting. But we will be back again the week after that. I'm definitely looking forward to this next combat phase. We'll start again for episode 3 at the start of a combat phase. We'll see the prosecution of the Syrian war. Look, this should be an easy victory for the guys and girls, provided they don't hit that disaster or standoff. Good sizable force there. Interesting. A field console with only a military rating of 1, if I've got that right. Is that right? That's fascinating that they elected a field console with such a low military rating, but perhaps because they were aware of how low strength the wars were and they were just sort of spreading the love, perhaps. Interesting choice by the Senate, but we'll see what's going on. Anyway, I think I enjoyed today's session, despite being a long one. That was I enjoy every session. What can I say? I really enjoy the game. But hey, thank you very much for all those that are watching on. Certainly, Poached Trout just come in with a last-minute chat there. Said he would have counselled fighting both wars. Yes, a bad military field console was not a good choice in his opinion. I know. I guess it is what it is now. So we'll see how that plays out. All right, ladies and gents, citizens, guests, allied legions, and friends of Nova Roma, and those watching the channel, either live here on Twitch or on our YouTube channel in the future, Australia Nova Romana. Please follow, like, subscribe as and where you can. It's always very much appreciated. It all goes to a great cause for this not-for-profit that is Nova Roma. Thanks again very much. We'll see you all in 2 weeks' time on a Monday. To see episode 3 of the Republic of Rome board game broadcast. I am Decimus Aurelius Ingeniarius. Thank you very much for joining us, and until next time, Walete.